Danful offers unparalleled, curated and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshi traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danful, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danful, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danful, Africa. To learn more, visit danful.africa.
Peace, family. We are live again. Donnie Samir, search for Huru. Thank you all. Thanks so much for joining. Hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Let me turn this back up a little bit. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Got a couple of announcements before we hop into the. There we go. We're kind of clear. Got a couple of announcements before we hop into tonight's discussion. Let's see who we got in the chat room. Shout out to you, BY Passport Bros 10. Shout out to the Passport Bros in the chat room. Intel V5U. Shout out to you as well. Why is this camera kind of hold on? I gotta get the focus. I don't know. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna upgrade webcams here soon. So yeah, I'm gonna upgrade webcam soon. But yeah, so we are rolling to Senegal for the Jazz Festival. Got 2 spots left. Again, we're rolling to Senegal for the Jazz Festival. That is going to be May 9th to the 18th. May 9th to the 18th. If you're interested in joining us, please visit danful.africa. Again, please visit danful.africa. We will love to host you in Senegal. We're also going to Nigeria in August for Oshun. Then we're rolling to, where else are we going to? Zanzibar in September 20th through the 29th. And then we're heading up. We're going to do Ghana and Ivory Coast in November. Then also we're going to do Sierra Leone as well. So please visit danfo.africa to learn more. Please visit danfo.africa to learn more. We will love to host you all on one of our excursions. Come and join us. We are going to have a great time. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the chat room early. You know, so if you guys want to call in, you're more than welcome to call in. But yeah, tonight's topic. And somebody brought it up yesterday, and we're going to discuss it today. So Ghana has, I don't know, an agreement, or they have French troops who are on the ground in Ghana, and they're going through like a training session or training drilling, because there are, I guess, the Ghanaian soldiers need training on how to deal with I guess they got rebels too who are illegally mining. So the French troops are on the ground training the Ghanaians on how to fight the illegal miners. I didn't know the illegal miners were strapped like that to the point where you have to bring in a foreign military to run drills and exercises on how to train them. Like I said, I didn't know it was like that in Ghana at these illegal mining sites. Yeah, which is crazy. But on the other hand, Ghana has signed an agreement with Burkina Faso to help strengthen its security. So then naturally the question becomes, if Ghana, and guys help me out here, if Ghana needs help protecting its mines from illegal, people who are illegally mining, what can Ghana really offer to Burkina Faso, especially when it was either last week or a couple of weeks ago, tomato sellers from Ghana were in northern Burkina Faso. And just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And in fact, let's pull up some of these clips. It was like 7 people, 10 people were killed. And it sucks. It's unfortunate. It's terrible news. You're going to another country just to trade, and this happens.
Security environment has continued to evolve. We have observed heightened public concern over crime trend, persistent border security pressures linked to transnational threats, increasing demand for effective regulation, and growing public scrutiny regarding accountability, service delivery, and respect for human rights. At the same time, the sector has recorded notable gains. This includes stronger interagency collaboration, progress in digitalization and intelligence-led operations, improve in emergency response, and reform aimed at professionalism and oversight. This mixed outcomes underscores the importance of a deliberate, evidence-based performance review such as this one. Ladies and gentlemen, this workshop is not convened merely to recount activities or define statistics. It's convened to interrogate results, confront implementation gaps, and agree on corrective actions.
I'll go ahead, Africa.
Yeah, I just thought I'd come a bit early, Dennis, just to updates about Sierra Leone issue.
Go ahead.
So yeah, it was apparently, according to the Guinean, it was the Sierra Leoneans who actually went into their territory, and because this is what I was always saying since I've been here. I said, the Fouta Jalon region of Guinea was carved. Some part of it was carved. That's why northern Sierra Leone is, and you got like certain tribes like the Susu, the Fula, the Jalunka, who actually are part of that region. Okay, and also where the line is, where the border is, the other side of the border is the same people that live the other side in the Guinea side of the border. So the same people, same tribe, intermarriage, and in fact the Jalunka people in Sierra Leone, they use the Guinean network. Actually, that's how close they are to those people. But for some reason, apparently, according to the Guineans, the Sierra Leoneans soldier went into their own territory, and they put a flag on their side of the border. So that's when they actually kicked off. So they arrested all these guys. They basically float their military helicopter, and the North reinforcements captured all these Sierra Leone military guys and took them to the nearest military prison. But they was treated well. They wasn't beaten up after. And but yeah, so at the moment there's some diplomatic talks going on. However, the Sierra Leoneans are saying it's their territory. So now not only they are fighting over Yenga, which is the border to the east of Guinea. Now they're fighting over, Falaba, which is the border to the north. So this is spreading out like wildfire. Hopefully, there will be something, positive comes out of this for once. But if not, it's going to be a problem, man. Because the people in Sierra Leone actually feel humiliated, to be honest. This is the trouble. If you don't invest in defense, you're going to be in problem.
Yeah, but I mean,
You know.
but for some reason, like African militaries across the board, except for like Egypt and maybe Morocco and Algeria, they're just relatively weak.
Yeah. I don't know if you know Guinea very well. I think it's one country you tend to overlook a little bit when it comes to the integrity of their territory. I mean, look at this. Look at Sierra Leone had a war. Okay, they couldn't venture into Guinea. They tried it and they failed. That's the reason why Yenga was captured. Liberia had the same problem. They tried it in Guinea. They failed. In fact, the Guinean military captured some land from Liberia. I don't know if they handed that back over. It was a warning not to do it again. And in fact, the Portuguese trying to invade Guinea years ago through Guinea-Bissau, and they entered into Guinea and they got repelled. It's the only country that actually successfully repelled in foreign invaders, and they were successfully repelled. And also look at the problem in the Sahel, like what we're talking about now. Like Burkina Faso, Mali. Like for example, Mali got border, to Guinea. They couldn't do it. They don't play with the national security. It's not something that they mess around with. And I think in West Africa, if there's one country you can give credit to, defending their territory, it will be Guinea. They're not the most developed country, but boy, I think it's a legacy of the Russian connection. What the AES is doing now, where when Guinea gained independent, when they kicked the French out. Remember, the French was adamant that they were kicked out of Guinea. They wanted to stay. That was their favorite colony, and so so I don't know if you know that when the French was leaving Guinea, they smashed all the light bulbs, poured concrete into the sewage, saying, well, we're not going to leave you anything. And it's the only country that still refused to use the French currency. It's the only properly independent nation.
So Guinea doesn't use the SEPA?
No, they didn't. They never have. They refused it. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So you got, yeah. And I think you should try. When I go back to Africa in the next year, I think I'm going to go at the end of the year, but I'm not going to Guinea. But next year, I got some projects. When I go there, I got a family member in the government. I'm going to try and do some networking and see what they can do about citizenship. Because Guinea is a very Pan-African country. Yeah, it's a very Pan-African country.
What's her name? Megan Good and her husband. They got citizenship in Guinea.
Yeah, I saw that on your screen. I thought, wow, okay, that's quite interesting. That's not surprising, because Guinea is the most Pan-African country, in the region. Guinea is actually very Pan-African. Yeah, so yeah. I think you could successfully gain access to their citizenship, and also they do tend to look after their citizens much more better when they're living abroad, and also their passports are not hard like the Guineans I know here. When they apply for their passport, they don't struggle to get it. But if it's other nationality, when they're applying for passport, it takes a while for them to get it. So I think you got a chance over there, man.
Okay. How do you feel about the situation with Ghana, France, and Burkina Faso?
Yes, I think Ghana, Burkina Faso should be careful with Ghana. That's my advice to them. They should work with their brothers, their neighbors. You have to work with your brothers one way or another. But what suits Ghana doesn't suit Burkina Faso at this time. And I think for them to have the French in there, kind of a bit weird to me. After they tried to stay away from the French. But then Ghana is an English-speaking country. They don't have that much ties to the French colonies. They have more connection to the Commonwealth. I can see why they probably feel, well, the French are not that much of a threat. We can have them in. But then they know the French are a really big threat to Burkina Faso. And how comes they never managed to do this deal with Burkina Faso all of us all this time? And in fact, Ghana was one of the countries that I blame for the problem in Burkina Faso because they took a while to help Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso been struggling with the Sahel, the terrorism for years. Okay, Ghana never, offered large-scale military support for Burkina Faso because they know if Burkina Faso is captured, Ghana will be next. So why didn't they actually? Because I did mention that to ask someone that question a long time ago. Why didn't Ghana put so much effort on this? And also, Ghana was one of the few countries who signed the War on Anti-Terror Pact in West
Mhm.
Africa. Okay, where they actually they train their military guys, and I think some of these AES guys were trained by those packs as well. Those people that came into the region. And be successful, they actually failed badly. So I think it's a bit skeptical. The one thing that's positive though that recently happened is there was a connection with Iran. I saw the Iranian delegation in Burkina Faso look very happy and very positive, and I think if they can, if they can work together, they will actually help Burkina Faso develop some new technologies. Apparently, they're going to help them develop technologies, in terms of fighting, these terrorists, and also agriculture, which Burkina needs. So I think they should be leaning towards, Iran more than leaning towards the French Ghana. Yeah, that's my take from it, Dennis.
Go ahead, Shaw.
Greetings to the panel, to you, Dynast.
Mm.
I saw
Yes, sir.
this. It was very disturbing today earlier, and when I saw your title, I was like, "Oh, I got to chime in on this," and the timing's right. So we got a problem because we got Africa Command. Now, you may have mentioned this Africa, or Dynast, you may there 4 days ago. They're in the Jubilee House talking. Ghana officials and Africa Command. Doesn't the optics on that does not look good? What are they talking about, right? Then we got France coming in there with 10 troops or whatever it is, 10, 15, 20 troops to train Ghanaian military jungle tactics. Really? French people coming to train y'all on jungle tactic military stuff, and these are supposed to be people on motorcycles that barely, they got a little this and a little that. But and why do you need training from France? And then you've got then you got Muhammad going to meet with Traore or his whatever officials deal with the area, probably the president, on signing some deals on military things. Like they're going to do some security, heavy security. They're meeting. They're going to do some things, right? They meet, and then after that, you have Africa Command coming. No. Then you have Africa Command come. What, yesterday, 2 days ago, and then you have the one of the officials going to Ukraine to meet with Ukraine about some type of technology with drones or something. This is clearly not a non-alignment because Ghana is supposed to be, touted for its non-alignment, and that they're not aligned with anybody and they're friendly with everybody. This is not showing that they're friendly with everybody. This is showing that they have clearly made a decision in their actions of how they're rolling. So, and Ukraine has made a statement of, we were the ones who helped, those soldiers that died in whatever part near the borders of one of the either Nigeria or Benin, where those soldiers died. Burkina Faso was, Ukraine was the ones that said, "Oh yeah, we provided them with this and we provided them with that." But then they denied the fact that they were directly involved later down the line when they're saying, "Oh, so did you do this?" They said, "No, we didn't do that." So they tried to deny other parts of it, but they made a clear statement. So you've got The enemy of my enemy, you're meeting with them, you're meeting with the United States, you got France in your country. This is not good. And Muhammad I'm not feeling Muhammad right now. I'm telling you, this is a problem. This is really bad for the only countries that are standing up to being independent and liberate themselves from the Western world. And man, they got to deal with Tinubu, with Talon, and now Muhammad too, and Ouattara. That's Nigeria, Benin, Ivory Coast, and now Ghana. This is not good, man. Anyway, I had to express that. I had to say that. That's what we're dealing with. I'm gonna land right there.
American Kofi, go ahead.
Yeah, peace to the panel, peace everyone. Yeah, I feel that at this point, given the
Hey,
circumstances,
Kofi, are you on speaker or talking to your headpiece?
uh, this is better.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, I feel like given the circumstances of being surrounded by francophone African countries, Ghana has no choice but to play both sides and just kind of use people, right. They have to use the United States, they have to use France, they have to use Burkina Faso where it best benefits them and puts them in a position to checkmate, right. We know the history. If it's not your army generals selling you out, then it's the informant CIA civilians selling you out, right. It's all fair game. And the saying, keep your friends close but keep your enemies closer. And I believe Ghana playing all sides and playing both sides, it's it works in their favor, just in case they have to make a swift move and a exit in a sustaining play.
What's the exit though?
The
What's the
exit
exit
is just
from what?
looking out for yourself at this point. In self, right. Muhammad, he has his own family. He has his own 50 people he could only be accountable for, right. That's nature. Each individual is only could be accountable for 50 people in their entire lifetime. So he's looking out for himself at the end of the day. He don't want to get assassinated by a rogue army general that just took money. He don't want to get assassinated by a civilian that's in government. So he has to play both sides. It's not about being loyal to a specific country or to some type of pan-Africanism. You have to play chess, and you have to play smart. And at the end of the day,
But what's the
no
long
one's
game? What's the long game?
the
Go ahead,
long game is paying your way, and that's it. When you're able to pay your own way,
bro.
then
No,
that's it.
that's
Because,
the individual game. That's not the long game.
well, so be it. Because no one paid my way to go to Africa. I paid my own way, and
But you're not
people could care
responsible
less.
for
People could care
30 or 40
less.
or 50, 60 million people. You're
Well,
talking about yourself as an individual, and you're
that's
kind
the
of relating
future.
to him as the individual. Like you're talking
That's the
about,
future. The future is self-sustainability. That's the future. Everyone needs to be self-sustainability. Build
mm,
your own lights,
mm,
get your own solar systems, and feed yourself.
but
And that's
he's the president of a country
that
of
don't mean any. That don't mean
millions of
anything.
people.
It doesn't mean anything. And those same people will assassinate you.
No, I mean, but that's what's trying to happen in Burkina Faso. They're trying to assassinate him, but they're not able to do that because of things that I don't know. But the things that I do know is that the people themselves don't want it. The people themselves are trying to do everything they can do to keep that from happening, along with the his military secret service or whatever, his force of military. So that's why he's not dead now, because they done tried to kill him about 20 times. And I'm saying that's what Muhammad needs. and he needs to have that type of camaraderie or that kind of thing from his people and his military. And the way that he gets that is by doing the right thing. And the country's headed in the right direction. But at what point are they gonna balls up, nut up, and be like, okay, look, this is the future that we have? Because really what he's really saying and what he's doing, he's become a punk for the Western world, and he's gonna try to go whatever way he can go to be. No, it's the new. You're gonna have to choose sides. You can't float in the middle and play everybody against. You gotta choose. This is the time right now in the world where people have to choose sides. Either you with me or you against me, is what the old people in the South used to say. Either you with me
Right.
or you against me.
I think he's choosing self, right? Because he could have easily ended up like those tomato um traders, right? Who's gonna look out for them? They're dead. And
But he's not a
that's how the game has to be played.
My
Either you're gonna be a victim like those tomato traders,
no,
or you're
bro.
gonna come out victorious.
Yeah,
And
friend,
the
are
way
you from
I'm
Ghana?
seeing things, I have citizenship in Ghana. I'm American. The way I'm seeing things, I'm gonna have my own drones surveilling my vehicle for my family, so I don't end up like those traders, like those tomato traders in Burkina Faso.
and
I
that's
don't think
just
it's
for
safe.
you as an
It's not
individual.
safe to tell people to migrate to places where they're being attacked, and that easily could have been any of us. And I don't think no one's securing us as individuals. So why the fuck would I care about a president, right? Why would I care about anyone out on the outside? I'm thinking about myself and my family, and that's how the game has to be played from here on out. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, they all got played, and they all got played by their own people, and that's how it has to be.
No, let me pass it to Big Vovo. Go ahead, Big Vovo.
Appreciate you letting me speak. You said African. You said you. I mean American. You said you're African. The guy that was just speaking, African. I mean
I have
American.
citizenship. I have dual citizenship in Ghana and United States.
Okay. Now I heard what you were saying, and but I kind of agree with you. You know, like this has nothing to do with Black Americans, but I was just listening. I was gonna just listen today, but this is a very important moment that you would say that. You know what I mean? Like, what's the problem with us looking out for ourselves as Black Americans? Like, we've been played
Sir,
too.
this has nothing to do with just Black Americans looking out for themselves. We're not talking
Hey,
about Black Americans.
Donis, could I finish this, bro? I'm pretty
I'm
much
sorry.
done.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
no,
Go
you're
ahead.
right.
I
I
don't even
apologize.
want
No,
to hear
no,
nothing you
go
got to
ahead,
say.
go ahead, go ahead, go
I
ahead,
was
Vovo.
talking to another man.
Go ahead, Vovo.
So my thing is this, right? You know what I mean? Like, we're looking out for ourselves. Not like we hate anybody or anything like that, but we tried the whole Pan-African Union, let's unite with all dark skin shit. That shit don't work. You get played by doing that. Your power is in closing ranks. You know what I mean? Your power isn't taking what you have and building with that. When you let everything and everybody in, you end up getting crossed up. What the guy earlier was saying is that he basically saying that they've learned lessons from Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. We have too. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to learn the lesson. You might not like it, but you gotta learn from the ones that came before you. You know what I mean? They looking out for whoever he was talking about is looking out for themselves. But when Black Americans look out for ourselves, we're the bad guys. How can we be the bad? How can we? Excuse me. How can we be the bad guy? We're just looking out for ourselves now. So I respect what you said. A lot of people is not gonna like what you said, but I agree with you.
Well, I don't think you're quite relevant with the topic and what was being said in the context. It's not about a Black American thing
Oh
at
no, I'm
all.
totally not relevant with the topic. I don't know nothing about this guy that he was
Okay,
talking
so
about, but I'm
then
just saying
you
the
should
same rules
Ghana
probably
should apply
listen.
across the
Ghana
board.
is looking out for
Yeah, you should
themselves, and
probably
Bahama
listen.
is looking out for himself.
No,
And
I'm
that's
just
what I
saying
was
that
saying.
let the
That's the big
same
Well,
rules.
difference.
Yeah,
Let's
you
let the
should
same
well,
rules apply
listen.
across the board for
This is a
everybody.
listening moment.
Let's not pick and
well,
choose,
well,
Louis.
Well, this is what ran us to. This is what got us to slavery at the first place. This is what ran loads of African Americans, brothers and sisters into slavery, because this is the same mindset that Africans were doing, when they was actually looking out for their own tribes, having tribal wars, capturing one another, dashing them out to foreign people, and obviously we end up in a situation like this. So that's a bad
The
idea. I
Europeans
mean,
were
that that's
enslaved
that's
by the
that's your
Moors.
yeah, that's true. That's listen.
That's how they got enslaved.
I know very well about that, and I talked about that loads of times. Okay, so let's put that context. Slavery was a global phenomenon. I live in a city where the Irishman was sold here to America. The Irishman was for it was basically the Irishman was 10,000. For example, the African was 20,000, because the African lasts longer in the plantation. Anyway, let's move on. What I'm trying to say is this sort of mindset is not good for Africa, because where we are, we're not in the same situation as other nations. Okay, so you're talking about a leader of a nation here. You're not talking about an individual. Okay, so let's get the context right. What I noticed anyway, Shah, because I think me and you are on the same page, in terms of the Pan Africanism or what's going on in the continent. Okay, put Pan Africanism aside. Okay, at the moment we have an urgent situation in the continent where we know we have three countries that are fighting for sovereignty, so they could keep what's theirs, and we have other countries who have been controlled by outsiders. They've been told what to do. They have no sovereignty whatsoever. These are the context that we're talking about today. Um, the only thing I see here, that the coastal countries, like Nigeria and Ghana, they always have been they have been the weakest link. I think not only they have been the weakest link, also the diaspora have been the weakest link. I'll give it a good example. I did that yesterday. As I was trying to explain where the FBA and the Africans fit in America. Right now we have the most hardcore right wing politics that's playing against the people of color. That's black people of African descent and Caribbean descent in the UK. Do you know what led to that? It's because the African politicians who came here, as their parents came here not long ago, actually silenced the black Caribbeans who've been here, who fought for civil rights and know what they fought for, you know, and they've been sidelined and replaced by the black Africans who are happy to do this individualistic mentality, the same mindset that you're actually trying to sell us here. Saying, "Oh, I'm only gonna care about my tribe," because the woman that we have at the moment, who is an opposition leader called Kemi, she said she don't care about black people or Nigeria. All she care about is her tribe. Okay, so she telling everyone else f off. So basically, that's the same mindset that Gogo is and the other brother is trying to teach us here, which I totally disagree. And now she's the one that's crying racism now, because everyone is against her. Even the racist white people that she's clapping for and twerking for don't want her. And now they're actually targeting her. They don't want her, and she complaining about racism. The same woman that promoted the most racist
Mhm.
Englishman to the House of Lord. When people say to her, "Don't do it," it's wrong. Even the white people are racist. Say to her, "Don't do it." Okay, this is how
Mhm.
self hating we are. And so basically go back to Burkina Faso, and West Africa. Sorry, I think, as I said the other day, Ghana is just one of the problems. The biggest problem we have is Nigeria. Nigeria at the moment is controlled by Trump. I don't know if you guys know that. Whatever Trump said, whatever the Senate said, is what Nigeria is doing at the moment.
Um, yeah,
So we yeah, they've been controlled by Trump. Trump is telling them what to do, and they have no power. Nigeria doesn't have a leader at the moment. The people that lead in Nigeria are the CIA and the terrorists.
they've totally
So
capitulated to the U.S.
yeah,
And the U.S.
yeah,
is bringing Israel in too. They're bringing Israel in.
yeah,
This is crazy, man. This is like they're trying to
yeah,
surround the Sahel. You
yeah,
know.
yeah. And people don't understand UAE. People don't understand United Arab Emirates is Israel. People don't get this. And these
Mm.
people are yeah, people don't understand this. When you hear United Arab Emirates, it's Israel. It got nothing to do with the Arab people. The Arab people that live there, and blah blah blah. But it's all to do with Israel. If you go to the like Sudan, the killing that's going on in Sudan, they're behind it. They're behind the killing. They're behind a lot of this terrorism in the Sahel.
Wow.
This guy, yeah, they're behind it. When did he ever say? In fact, right now, didn't you hear Saudi saying to the Americans and other countries in the Middle East, except United Arab Emirates, they're saying you cannot use our bases to go and launch at Iran. It's not possible. But only United Arab Emirates like okay with it.
So Burkina Faso just met
Mm.
with Iran, correct?
Yes,
For do you know what was
yes.
it for?
Yes, it's to do with. I think it's to do with drone technology because Iran got loads of scientists. It's a funny country, isn't it? They've been sanctioned for so long. How they managed to do it? They got loads of drone rockets like this rocket launchers. They got loads of weapon technology they're gonna give to Burkina Faso, which I think is really really important for them. And also they have agricultural technology that they're going to share with Burkina Faso, which I think is very important.
Hmm.
And yeah,
What
and
about
don't
this
forget,
health? Sorry
sorry,
to cut you off, but what about this health deal that Burkina Faso struck with the United States? 5-year health deal.
I haven't
the
heard about
health.
that.
No, I haven't. And
Okay.
Okay,
also, another
so there's a
interesting thing
health
I saw
cooperation
also.
deal that the U.S. and Burkina Faso signed for 5 years for
Okay.
$149 million. A memorandum of understanding focused on health, specifically targeting disease prevention and strengthening laboratory systems. Now, if that doesn't seem like some under the table shit, I don't know what is. And that's why I'm
Mm.
on some individual shit. That's exactly why.
Okay, listen, right? These the Americans when it comes to health, okay, their global policy is totally different, and also most of these things are not done by the U.S. governments, okay, and it's done by companies. So it must be a private company to private initiative, okay. So there are different things, you know. To what, for example, the British recently went to Mali to propose to the Malian government. I saw that, and I find that quite interesting as well. The British want to help Mali fight combat terrorism all of a sudden, but I think Mali should have taken that offer. If I'm honest with you, the reason why I said that because the British are the only people, only um, military might that do not like to stay in the foreign land for too long. They like to come in, get the job done, pack their bags, and go. It's been proven. In fact, the Chagos Islands, America is actually, bashing us about. Is the British voluntarily handing over back to the people? America said, no, why are you giving it back to them? The British like, we have to give it back to them. There's no need to keep these things, because the people here are the ones that really control the foreign policy, and if they don't want to stay there for too long, and they don't want to feel like, they are spending money on too much on defense because the British have scaled back on defense. They focus more on smaller scale of defense and more sophisticated, and they use a lot of technology in the defense. Okay, so like in Sierra Leone, they came in at the end of the war, they got the job done, trained our guys, packed their bags, and went. They never stayed. They had their days of colonization. They had enough. In fact, most of the colonies, they don't have hardly any military presence there. The only presence they have is a multinational corporation. They will come in, they will help you out. They'll be like, "Right, we know you got some gold. Can we have our companies come and work with you guys?" And if you said, yeah, that's fine, they'll actually probably help you out more. But if you say no, then they probably live in a mess. That's reality. They just work
Mm.
with the corporation.
Like
Yeah.
Zimbabwe. Well, Zimbabwe just
Yeah.
denied the health deal, right? Because I heard about the details of this deal that United States was proposing to Zimbabwe. I think it was Zimbabwe, and the
That's
leader
correct.
turned it down. But listen to this though. Here's the details on what you just said, young brother. United States.
Yes.
Can you guys hear me? United States and Burkina Faso signed a 5-year, $147 million bilateral health cooperation memorandum of understanding in February 2026, aimed at strengthening regional health security and improving disease surveillance. Funding supports the U.S. pledged up to 147 million. Local contribution, Burkina Faso committed to increase domestic health spending by 107 million. Strategic context, the deal aims to enhance Burkina Faso's ability to manage infectious disease while strengthening local health systems.
Shah,
Integration U.S. funded.
Shah, what are your thoughts on that? And I'm gonna pass it to CD.
I think that if you enter into an agreement like that, and I'm speaking of a of the type of leadership and country that Burkina Faso is, and it is something that is a win for you, and the United States is probably throwing that's crumbs for them. $147 million is not much at all for them, right? And they're using you. They're putting that out there to say, hey, we got a little something something for you. Let's make a good relationship between us so we can do some other things. And you go, okay, well, yeah, you can do that for us. And this fits in what we're trying to do. Okay, we'll take that. Doesn't mean that you're going to engage in some stuff that is not going to be beneficial for you or get you into some type of trap. Even I hear the criticism from my own Pan African brothers or other brothers on the continent talking about, oh, Burkina Faso is supposed to be independent of, but they're still taking IMF loans. When in actuality, what it looks like is some similar to what I just said, but also some deals that were made previous to this coup that happened that they're trying to finish out the agreements that was happened before they were in power. They're trying to finish out some of those agreements. So it appears that that's happening with some of those IMF loans, which is why they're dealing with it. But in addition to that, I got to look at that a little more closer though, in
Okay,
terms of the
let me pass it to CD. Go ahead,
yeah.
CD.
Hey, Diamond,
Hey.
it's Africa.
Yes, brother. Yes,
Yeah, how
brother.
you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Thank you very
Yeah,
much, sir. Thank you very
anyway.
much.
So I'm going out of topic. So Guinea situation, we're talking about Sierra Leone and Guinea, right? I warned you about
Yeah,
Dumbuya, that Dumbuya is not a good guy. I've been telling you
yeah, you
this.
did.
Right. I
Yeah,
told
you
you, I
did.
said the reason why he made choose the prime minister to be a Fulani Bawuri is just to manipulate the Fulani. He did it to the forester when he
Yes.
put Gomu there, the same thing. And now,
Hmm.
presently, he's seriously sick, and then he's claiming that he's in Southeast Asia for treatment, but he's in France. He got serious medical problem. I think he got some brain issue going
Is
on.
that Alpha Conde?
No, no, Dumuya is going for
Seriously?
yeah, he's seriously
Wow.
sick right now. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah,
Oh
okay.
no.
Yeah. So back to the topic. Ghana playing a double standard. Ghana been doing this for a long time. They always pretend to be Pan-African country, with the exception of Kwame Nkrumah. I don't really trust Ghana at all. They want to have it both ways. They want to have economic benefit from Burkina Faso because they're getting tomato, onion from Burkina Faso. Or I don't think Burkina is getting anything from them. So they just want to have it both way. At the same time, John Mohammed is always running to Cote d'Ivoire. So you never even do the Liberian Civil War when Ghana contributed through. They couldn't even count until US gave them all the military equipment and the logistics before they could even go to Liberia to contribute through to ECOMOG, you know. And then when it was Charles Taylor killed few Ghanaian soldiers and they were not getting any money from the US government, then they withdrew their troop. So don't trust Ghana. You never trust them. They always try to show them face that they are number one Pan African country because of Kwame Nkrumah, but in reality they are not. You know. So
Right.
most of the time when you come on the show and tell them that Kwame Nkrumah was in Guinea as a president, a lot of Ghanaians will say, no, no, he died in Romania. Yeah, he died in Romania, but Romania was a socialist country compared to Guinea, because Guinea had relationship with all these socialist countries. That's the reason why they sent him to Romania. So you can't trust it. don't never trust the Ghanaian, especially the authority. They always want to. They play the same double standard with African American. They will say, "Oh, you're coming invest." They promote their country a lot, but the reality they are not. They look at more for benefit than anything else. You know. But I'll leave here for now.
Yeah, it's quite surprising that you said Dumbuya is in France, and yes, I understand where you're coming from because he realized he have to keep the Fullers on his side to have a bit of peace in Guinea because before when he just came in, they did give him a lot of hard time, in the country because they
Right.
didn't want him, but because he did some reforms. And if you look at his government, like majority of the guys that is in the government are the fuller people.
Yeah.
And you're probably right. He's playing politics, but I think it's going to backfire because at the moment, Selu Dalen and Alpha
Mhm.
Conde, they have for the first time teamed up
Yeah.
against Dumbuya,
Yeah.
and he's not feeling comfortable about that because they had a meeting in New York. They had a massive rally,
Yeah.
and where they got all the Fulani and Mandingo community in America to come together against Dumbuya.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so something is cooking, but overall, the progressive in the country they tend to still like him because they feel like since he's been in power, he managed to keep certain issues, like he managed to keep the peace between the people a bit more better than he's managing it better than Alpha Conde did. So that's the only thing that's helping him at the moment. But I can see if things it's only gonna take one little thing gonna kick off and then they probably it's not gonna be nice for him. And Guinea is a funny country. It's always been ruled by military. It's been
Yeah.
coup d'etat after a coup d'etat and
Yeah.
it's always brutal, you know. And when they come for you, they will take you out. They will actually
Oh
take you
yeah.
out. So you don't
Mm.
yeah. Yeah, it's not like it's Guinea. People don't understand when me
Yeah.
and you in here talking about military coups and we oppose in certain things. People just think, oh, these guys are negative or they're hating. They don't understand. Most of these guys like Assimi Goita, Traore, these are our family members. We are related to these people. We know them very
Yeah.
well. We know where they come from. We're not opposing them. We're just trying to look out for the people that they're governing.
Yeah.
And yeah, Guinea is a good example. And these guys know Guinea too well. Is a high Guinea is highly militarized country. Guinea, regardless who is in power in Guinea, it's always going to be controlled by the military. They got the
Yeah.
country locked.
And also
That's it.
he's been manipulated by this guy or Paul Kagame. Paul, because
Yes,
he's that his mentor. He run in the hand of Paul Kagame all the
he's his
time.
mentor.
Everything that
Yes,
he's
yeah,
doing. All these
yeah.
journalists he arrested and put them in prison. All these
Mm.
opposition leaders that he put in prison. Kagame is showing all of this. So even one of the breaches in Conakry that Alpha Conde was
Hey, guys,
building, he named it after this guy.
let's get back on topic.
Right.
Man. Get to it.
Yes. All right. So
Yeah.
yeah. So Ghana, I'm sorry for that, but yeah, Ghana is playing a double standard, and I know Ghanaians now they're not going to like to hear this, but they want to make the because they're benefiting from Burkina Faso, right? So and no, we know Burkina don't have SIPO, but Burkina Faso is well advanced in terms of agriculture. They are really good in farming, even when you talk about Cote d'Ivoire, most of the farmers they are Burkina Faso, they are really good with farming. So Ghana, and their bigger food is jollof rice. So they don't want to be run out of tomatoes. So
But the
so
Fulani provide all the beef to the coastal countries, the Fulani herders and stuff. Is that correct?
Yeah,
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 most of
yeah,
it.
that's
Yeah,
yeah. So
and
that's part of it.
Fulani, and some Mandinka also. Like
right, right.
the those in like those in Masanta. A lot of Mandinka people in Masanta that
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
have cattle.
In the
And
forest
different
region.
part of it in the forest region. That's right. Like in Sierra Leone, the one of the biggest cattle owner is not is a Mandinka guy. I know him very well. He's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
wealthy,
yeah.
and
So now,
he used to be a big politician. Yeah,
so I'm bringing that up because
yeah,
that's part of the economic landscape. Is that you have the economics that that's part of the thing that the United States wants to do with the agreements that the United States wants to make with, I believe, Nigeria, is that they want to stop the trade of the beef going into the Fulani's. There's something with the Fulani herders and providing meat to the coastal parts. They're saying in this thing, that this agreement that they have with them, and I know it's not related directly to Ghana, but that's part of the negotiations that they're trying to make with Nigeria, which also affects other areas because you have Fulani in all these other areas that are also
Mm.
providing beef. So you have these Western countries that are also creating, I don't know, embargo is the right word for within the inner
Region.
lands. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
crazy that they're
yeah,
Hey guys, let me
yeah, and it.
let me pass it to Louis. Go ahead, Prince Louis.
Yeah, hello there, Dinus. Hello to the
Hey.
panel. I just want to give a
Hello.
quick word to that man called CD. There, I've heard him for some time in a couple of shows. Brother, stop hating Ghana, okay? Stop your secret hate against Ghanaians and your prejudice against Ghanaians. It is not Ghanaian. It is not the job of Ghanaians to save any of you and your people. We are there to save our people first, then we save our neighbors. It is not the job of Ghana to save Traore or anybody else. Okay, brother,
May I
stop
add
the
on?
hate. You keep jabbing this hate,
Mm,
hate. That's what lets black people down. Jealousy.
Mm-mm,
Stop the hate, bro.
mm-mm.
I don't hate you. We don't hate your people. I don't know why you hate us. It is not our
May I
job
add
to
on?
rescue.
Hey
It is
man,
not
hold
our
on.
job.
One second, Louis. Man in the High Castle. When it's time to add on, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Okay, go ahead, Prince.
It is not the job of Ghanaians to rescue anybody else but ourselves first. Okay? I once went back home complaining to my uncle that my brother was doing this, my sister was doing this was doing that, nobody's doing that. My uncle looked at me, he hadn't seen me 7 years, he said, paddle your own canoe. That's what he told me. He said, paddle your own canoe. And when you get that right, you can help everybody else out.
And
There's
this
no
is why
rule book.
Africa needs to
There's
be one
no
country.
there's no rule book. There's no rule book to Pan-Africanism. No one has written it. Okay? But instead of Ghana has gone out of way through the leaders they've had to set certain standard. And all I'm hearing is people from small countries, little backbiting, little that Ghana did, but they're not that Ghana. It's not the job of Ghana to save anybody else. We got to save ourselves first. Then we help our neighbors who want to cooperate through democracy, not by the barrel of the gun. Okay, look at the situation in Uganda. Now we can't get rid of this monster. Now he's building his son to take over. Even in Zimbabwe, the Pan-African country, Magangwa is now trying to change the rules so he can keep himself in power. Okay, Ghana is not your problem. As I speak to you right now, Traore is trying to do a deal with America for his health thing. But yet you guys are complaining about 15 French trainees from a French army that went to train with the Ghanaian soldiers. You all
We just
panicking.
talked about that in detail.
Shaw, let him talk.
You see, this is the problem. Street politicians who don't have no knowledge. People who are so stupid. You got the nerve of people like bullshit St. James coming on the Carla Nation show trying to say that my family killed Nkrumah. Madness. Get sick. Ghana produced the best African diplomats. Kofi Annan, Nana Addo, who was a diplomat for 40 years before he even took up the presidency. So when we speak and do certain things, instead of you looking or copying and observing what we do wrong, that's why the Sierra Leone president liked the Ghana so much. There's certain things you got to learn. You can't do everything gang-ho because you guys don't know how the world works. So when Ghana does certain things, you turn against Ghana. No, Ghana helps Burkina Faso. We buy the onions on thing and all that. We do all that. We don't have to buy that. We can do that ourselves. But in order to help our neighbors, we done that during the Kufur era so that we can help our neighbors out, open trade. But what we get from that, we get idiots like St. James coming on here and shitting on Ghana, fixing your mouth from a poor country to speak against Ghana. And idiots like Ben got the nerve to say Ghana only done their thing gold reserve because Burkina Faso done gold reserve. Are you crazy?
And why did tomato killers get killed in Burkina Faso?
Right. Thank you. Do some of you people actually listen to yourself? Stop hating on Ghana. Ghana don't hate the rest of you.
No, that's not to your point, though.
I don't think CD said anything. I don't think CD said anything really bad about Ghana. He's just saying,
brother, hear me out. CD is a sensible man. That's why I'm disappointed when he makes.
Thank you.
He's making this sliding.
He knows what he's talking about.
Right? I know he says, but I don't know why he's got this little sliding remarks.
Prince, you gotta understand this. I'm not hitting on Ghana. I've just said that Ghana trying to play on the both sides, right? They have to be very specific. AES, you saying that Ghana should not, link up with any kind of military government, right? But now those 3 AES guys, they are all military leaders, right?
Yes.
If Ghana is one of the symbol of democracy in the whole of Africa, because they have stability when it comes down to democracy.
And Senegal.
Right, and Senegal. Well, Ghana is number 1, to be frank, right? They've been having president in and out, very stable. But if they lean up with the AES and Mamadi Doumbouya from Guinea, that's halami. That would encourage people to always try to go and have coup d'etat.
Why is Ghana going to Ukraine and meeting with the Ukrainians about drones or whatever the fuck they are?
So Ghana being very stable country, very.
Hey, God, let me pass the mic. Man in the High Castle, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, sir. I'm not here to interrupt. I'm here to add on to the conversation and what's going on with Ghana. I left a link with YouTube where the former president of Ghana, Adodo, meets with U.S. State Secretary of Defense Blinken. And at the 1 minute and 50-second mark, Ghana former president Adodo tells it all about how he informs on Burkina Faso, their ties with Russia. This has been an ongoing relationship. He actually admits and says he just was at that time in 2023, he had just met in the US speaking on it. And now in this video, Blinken was in Ghana in a roundtable discussion. It's very brief, but it's eye-opening too. This is how the behavior pattern of Ghana has been since day one.
Okay,
and Carla, for the foreseeable future.
Well, let me do this. Let me play the video because I want to
see what he does wrong. What he said.
Let me. All right, man, guys, please mute up. Don't let me hear it.
This is a very good occasion, but it's a particularly good occasion because we greatly value Ghana's leadership and your leadership in West Africa, the important efforts on regional security. We're strong partners, including on the UN Security Council, which we greatly value. Partners for democracy and security in West Africa, and we greatly appreciate the peacekeeping contributions that Ghana makes, but also just more broadly, your own leadership for peace, for security, for democracy. Many challenges, but we're grateful to actually be facing them together, and really pleased to have you here this week for the summit. So thank you, Mr. President. Appreciate the time.
So, Mr. Secretary, thank you very much. We'll just thank the American government for the invitation to participate in this summit. I think it's a summit that's been long overdue. I believe it's the second. The last time was over 10 years ago. Yeah, perhaps we should be doing more. But it's good that it has happened. It gives us an opportunity to talk about many common threats and challenges that we have, which you've identified, and particularly for us, to be able to put into relief where we are. Yesterday, I had I was part of an extremely useful meeting with the people from the Congress to come and talk about security matters. Madam, you were there, you were part of the meeting. And its significance for us. And I think that beyond everything, that is a matter that I want to urge upon you. Today, Russian mercenaries are on our northern border. Burkina Faso has now entered into an arrangement to go along with Mali in employing the Wagner forces there. I believe a mine in southern Burkina has been allocated to them as a form of payment for their services. Prime Minister of Burkina Faso in the last 10 days has been in Moscow. And to have them operating on our northern border is particularly distressing for us in Ghana. Apart from not accepting the idea of great powers once again making Africa their theater of operation, we have a particular position that you know about over the Ukraine war, where we have been very, very vocal and upfront about condemning the invasion of by Russia. And therefore, then now to have this group at our borders is a matter of some considerable disquiet and concern for us. We really like to have a privileged opportunity to talk about its implications and what we believe ought to be the case. This is what took place with the discussion in the Congress yesterday, which I found very fruitful. And I would like that the themes of that discussion should be the themes that we should continue to address. To what extent we can have you as a partner in confronting these threats. It is very important that ECOWAS and the West African area remains a democratic space. It's the reason for the actions we took over the coup d'etats in Burkina Faso, in Mali, and in Guinea. And ECOWAS has been very consistent in refusing to deal with these governments because of the undemocratic nature of their accession to power. The commitment to democratic values and institutions is a high priority for our states. We in Ghana have been through all kinds of arrangements, governance arrangements in the past, one-party state, all kinds of experiments have taken place. And our people are now very clear in their mind. They want to go down the avenue of democratic engagement. And that is why the last 30 years of the Fourth Republic have been the most stable in our country's history. We want to do everything to preserve that. But there are enemies of democracy who are working hard in West Africa today. And therefore, it's important that we bring that matter to your notice and see to what extent we can engage you as a reliable partner in the pushback of those forces. There are other areas, of course, of great significance too, cooperation for economic growth and for the development and for the making of prosperity for our people, which is to some extent part and parcel of the same fight. The young people have things to do. They're not going to be recruits for terrorist forces. So all of that is part and parcel. But specifically, what we can do about the terrorist threat in West Africa is now the major security concern of all our states, especially the coastal states that up till now, to the last 6 months, have been relatively free of this threat. But now on all our common borders of Benin, Togo, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, are these forces that are operating there. We have to find a way to be able to respond and respond effectively.
What's so funny? What have you said wrong?
No, it's the groaning and the moaning. I'm with it. I'm with it.
What the hell has this man said wrong that you lot are complaining
No.
Let Man in High School respond. Man in High Castle, go ahead. What happened? Go ahead, man.
All right. Since the founding of Ghana, where President Kwame Nkrumah, he was a HBCU graduate at Lincoln University. After graduating, he was installed as the first president of Ghana. This type of informant has been going on since day one, and it's going to continue What I'm saying is
Talking about,
this.
dude? You
No,
don't know what you're talking about.
what I'm saying is this. Know for certain that the new president is even more formidable. And when he meets with Mark Rubio, trust me,
He's gonna lay it all out.
He's gonna come over here to the United States like any month, probably next month or the end of this month. And I'm telling you, Marco Rubio, when he's over there, trust me, man, he's gonna be knowing everything that's going on.
So what's your point, though? What's your point?
Castle and Shah, you mentioned one thing about Burkina Faso, right? With the deal that the Traore signed with America when it's come to help. CD, you remember the Ebola crisis in Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Guinea that happened?
Yes.
It is the same thing that happened. We had a company from Delaware who set up a lab. I think it's around the Sierra Leone, Liberia border. Okay, we never had Ebola throughout West African history. That is not our thing. We got nothing to do with it. Okay, and that company got set up there. It was a lab where they do a lot of these testing things, right? And not long. I'm not saying they spread the disease there. You know, I'm not speaking. I don't like speculating. But for some reason, not long, Ebola starts spreading out like wildfire from that same region around that area. Yeah. And when Ebola started killing our people, there was no American. Let me just finish. There was no. Can I finish, Luis? There was no American coming to help us. There was nobody. Ebola was killing our people, dying in the streets. It was Cuba. It was Cuba that came over and helped us. And we luckily, we have. At that time, we had a good public health system who were basically, even the West, when Corona happened, came to Sierra Leone to come and study from us how to deal with this sort of disease. So a lot of our people in Sierra Leone were employed all over the world to go and deal with this thing, because they said if they can deal with Ebola, then definitely can deal with Corona easily. So the only country in the world that helped us actually, that got closer to make a testing kits for Ebola, was Senegal. Clinic Pasteur in Senegal.
And they're trying to strangle them. They're trying to strangle Cuba.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. The other thing you gotta watch out for.
Even with the virus in South Africa, Cuba always help.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that the other thing is the propaganda that we must mention. Watch this now, because they're trying to separate Burkina Faso from Russia and China. And so what they're doing is they're maligning Russia with this white boy that's in Ghana who's having sex with all these women. So now it went from him misusing and abusing these women and putting them on videotape to him focusing on him being Russian and contacting the Russian thing. This is important because that's part of the propaganda that they're using. Listen, because in about 4 years ago, they created a bill by Gregory Meeks in Queens, New York, created a bill called, number HR 7311, countering the malign effects of Russian propaganda in Africa and the United States amongst the African diaspora. And when they say that the African diaspora, you think they're talking about FBA? Are they talking about Jamaicans? Are they talking about Black Americans, African Americans? We're all in one bag. One black bag. That's what diaspora mean. And actually, when I was younger, the diaspora was African Americans primarily, and then you had a few. You had smaller groups of Jamaicans and continental Africans. We were the African diaspora, and somehow that changed. But anyway, I digress. The point is that bill countering the malign effects of Russian propaganda in Africa and in the United States among the diaspora, African diaspora. This is their version of propaganda in Ghana. So now the conversation or everybody's turning their attention to this guy who's Russian, and not even the fact that he's misusing and abusing and putting these women he's having sex with on video. So that's a definite campaign against Russia. So all of these things are following, and these things are working in accordance with each other to separate the Sahel from Russia and China, because that's they're trying to do that with Nigeria as well. Separate.
Hey, Sean, let me. I gotta pass the mic. Let me pass the mic to Bang. Go ahead, Bang.
Yeah, everybody, man, how y'all doing? stuff like that.
Greetings.
Yeah, greetings to you,
Salutation,
man.
man.
Yeah, man. Let's deal with facts and reality, right? Let's deal with like who controlled this world, power and project power, right? When the Secretary of State was selected, right, months ago, right? He came out publicly. It says though the war in Ukraine between Russia and Ukraine, right, was a proxy war between the United States and Russia. He said it out of his own mouth, not me. You understand me, right? You see the difference between Democrats and Republicans, right? Foreign policy, there's no difference. It is the same agenda. The Democrat might just put some LGBT twist in it, but the agenda is the same thing foreign policy wise. It is the same thing. Donald Trump came in power. He said, "Oh, we're gonna stop doing campaign." He said he was gonna stop the war in Ukraine. He didn't, right? Months later, he invited Zelensky and said, "We gave you everything, and then you still losing the war." This was about what, 8 months ago, and Donald Trump is still funding the war. Now, fast forward currently, right? You have a Nigerian military base. You have a U.S. military base in Nigeria, close to about a couple miles away from the Niger border, right? And then you have a military base in Ghana as well, right? When the United States could do anything that they want. But these so-called Ghanaians that come up here and tell you about democracy, huh? but at least y'all changed the airport name now. I can understand that a little bit now. Just a little bit. Now, all of a sudden, the last couple of weeks, right? You had a so-called Russian guy filming himself making love to Ghanaian girls, right? And then as soon as that happened, the Ghanaian government then summoned the Russian ambassador, right? The ambassador came and said, "This man is not Russian." Fast forward a couple days later, we see French military in the bushes of Ghana. I mean, isn't the United States supposed to train your military? Why does France have to train your military in the bushes as well?
Why United States got to train your military?
Ghana's a bag of a lot of people.
You're one of the most stupidest people ever. You're dumb.
Yeah, I'm dumb. Thank you, Louis. I'm dumb. Stupid, bro. I am dumb, Louis. I'm dumb, right? Thank you very much. And then that same week later, you got T groups attack innocent people trying to buy tomatoes. You see it, right? And now, yesterday, we seen who? Ghanaian defense military in Ukraine. Ukraine is losing the war. Why are you going to a place for defense?
Ghanaian military is not in Ukraine, you stupid.
Thank you.
Ghanaian military is not in Ukraine, you stupid.
The defense minister of your country.
You said Ghanaian minister. Because we have
the defense minister.
We have a relation with them. We can go to who we like. We can go to who we like. Honest. You there?
Louis, let him land.
I just can I speak, here, please? Can I speak, Louis?
Yeah, go on, Bang.
The defense minister is in Ukraine trying to get some defense package. Why are you going all the way over there for a defense package? In a country that's losing about 30% of their territory as we speak. Make it make sense. And then that same country is a vassal to the United States. The United States come out openly. Donald Trump said it openly. We gave you everything, and then you still losing the war. Does that make sense? And then I'm gonna end this, right? I remember July 2024, right, when the Mali military got set up, right, and then they lost a bunch of soldiers as well. Those regular soldiers, right? The Ukraine defense minister during that time, I forgot what it was. He came out publicly and thanking those people.
Right.
And then the T groups had a flag of Ukraine thanking them.
Right.
This was a year and a half ago.
Right. So, no, we talked about that.
Yeah. Could I come in, Diamond?
I'm trying to listen to Bang.
Yeah, go ahead, Bang. Please. Africans, right? We are hypocrisy. You want to come up here and beat your chest about Ghana. Ghana economy 2 years ago was almost shamble. It was the IMF that saved your economy. We suffer in Africa. Louis, I know you've been in Ukraine. In the UK your entire life. So me, 90% of my life has been in the United States. I cannot relate to poor Africans. But the truth is the truth. I've never suffered in my life. But for you to come up here and try to act like Ghana is the beacon of democracy. Because West Africa is like successful. How are we successful? Look at us.
Dinus,
look at our continents.
Let me quickly.
Look our continents. Your people are selling out. Your people are selling out. That's what they doing. That is what they doing. That is what they doing. The fact is the fact.
Okay. Let me pass it to Prince, and I gotta pass it to Elvis. Go ahead, Prince.
Right.
I think you're right.
Is there a book, a Pan-African book that says we all have to be communists and line up with Russia? Is there a book like that? Is there somewhere in the manual?
Louis, there's not, but for some reason, hold on, Louis. For some reason, a lot of Pan-Africans, for some weird reasons, has adopted Marxism and communism, and it's romanticized for some reason. I don't know why.
Right.
That's old school. Right. That's old school.
Dennis.
No. Let Louis finish. Let Louis finish.
You see, Dennis, this is the problem and the lack of maturity that people on the continent lack. Kwame Nkrumah, during his tenure, took Ghana into the non-alliance treaty with Eastern Bloc countries and Western countries that was against East or West in the Cold War. Okay, therefore we never look east or west. We do what's best for us. Okay, Nana Addo, before he became president, was a diplomat for Ghana for many years. Okay, it was him that was able to identify the problem that was going on in the Francophone countries. That's why he made a famous speech, and he said the Banque de Paris has to let go of the hands from Africa. In other words, he was telling them. He was telling them exclusively, okay, in this game of chess, this is the main problem that's affecting African countries. During the independent movement, Nkrumah went to Upper Volta, which was then Burkina Faso, which was then Upper Volta. He asked them to join us in Ghana. They refused. He went to Ivory Coast. The Ivory Coast told them, if you're ready to leave your mother, we're not ready to leave our father.
Okay. Louis, let me go quickly.
Let me just please. In that video that Dinus played, I'm glad he played it for that length of time. I want someone to tell me what Nana Addo done that was wrong, apart from speaking up against coup d'etat that he's against.
Okay, hold on. Let Elvis answer that. Go ahead, Elvis.
All right, thank you, Dinus, and hello to the panel in the chat. Look, I agree 100% with what the former president of Ghana was saying in that video. If you ask Kenya, how is the security, in their country right now, they will tell you very good. They reached out to the United States to get help, in combating terrorism in their country. Same thing with Uganda. When you had the law-resistant army with Joseph Kony, they couldn't handle him. What did they do? They reach out to the West. When you go to northern Nigeria, they couldn't handle Boko Haram. What did they do? They reached out to the West. The West always, Obama sent $2.1 billion to Nigeria under Jonathan, and Sambo Datsuki stole the money. And when Buhari came in, he put him in jail because of that. So when African countries are acting as if they don't need the West, when they have problems and issues that they can't figure out themselves, they run and ask the West for help. So what the former president of Ghana was saying is that he has security issues. That's what these people do, through the diplomatic corridors. They talk to their partners, their security partners. Where the United States is a partner of Ghana when it comes to their security, and they were talking about how there are some issues of concerns within the region, and he told you exactly what it was. He didn't mince his words. He wasn't snitching. He was sharing security intel with his security partners. Because when something happened on the continent, we cried to the West. I come from a country where we were begging the West to come and save us. So when people come in and act as if they're so strong, what happened with Sierra Leone? Didn't we cry for ECOWAS to go and help and save us in both Liberia and Sierra Leone? Who you think paid for ECOWAS? You think it was the African countries? No, Nigeria. It was the United States and mostly Nigeria that put the money together to come and save Africans. So when people sit in the West and they forgot that the West always come and save us when we're killing ourselves, it's hypocritical. The reality
comes to the rescue.
The reality is working with the security partners to make sure that this country is safe first and foremost.
Dennis, can I come in now?
Thank you, Dennis. I'll pass the mic.
Hold on. Let Elvis finish.
I'm done, Dennis. I'll pass the mic.
Can I respond, please?
Let me respond to him.
No, he didn't come for you. He's talking to the whole panel.
He mentioned my country.
Oh my God, dang!
I understand.
Bro,
this is
just your country.
This is no. He came from West Africa.
Right.
I'm a guy. I believe in self-power. We don't have self-power in Africans. We have puppets. When something happens, they can't fix it. They run back to their master. And then the master do something, and then we go back to the same situation we've been in. We cannot continue Africa the same way it is. We cannot. There's no way. You need some type of revolution.
Thank you.
Elvis, my feet don't have to touch in Africa no more. Are you understanding me? But I'm not phony. I am not phony. You understand me, right? The truth is the truth. We have plenty of Africans suffering, sleeping on the street of France, sleeping on the street of Italy, up to this day currently as we speak. Why
America.
Okay, Dennis, can I come in now?
Like that,
It's very unfortunate.
blessed like that. You coming up here and telling me about democracy. What have democracy have done for us? Under the same system. Under the same system. Don't Sierra Leone's, don't Liberians, Ghanaians go to the North Africa and then treated badly, go to jail and spend until they finally landed in Europe. Half of them sleep on the street. What are you proud of currently?
They chose to do
How
that.
can you be proud of yourself as an African currently right now? Because
they
you live in the West.
Which
You benefit everything. You benefit everything. How can millions of our people right now in Africa, especially West Africa, living like this? You want to come here and tell me about democracy? Ghana democracy. Oh, wow. What does Ghana got to show for it? Can Ghana beat his own chest by himself? No.
We're doing quite well, thank you.
No, you don't.
All right, let's see the comment.
Diamond saved your economy.
Can I
Diamond saved your
respond?
economy 2 years ago.
Ben is enough now, please.
No, man.
But let's see
They live in the West. They live in the West.
No, you're making valid points. You make
the poor
None of
Africans
this
that's been suffering for generations. We need revolution. Democracy has not worked for us. I don't care what nobody says.
Okay.
All right. So you made valid points. You made
good points. I'm in agreement with you, brother.
I do not need that. But the
All right, bang. God damn.
So Prince,
no, you made good points. Seriously.
Yeah, but
so Prince, this is what I was talking about.
Let Shaw go then after Shaw's CD.
Okay, so Bang, I'm with you. I'm in agreement with you. And Nana Akufo-Addo at that meeting was a coon, and I say that because the insurgencies and this insecurity in the Sahel region is coming from where? Well, we know where it's coming from, because those Fulanis or whoever they are, they don't have money to buy those motorcycles and those guns. They're getting it from somewhere, and the somewhere, follow the money. We know where the somewhere is. So now it would behoove Nigeria and Ghana to support the efforts of the AES, because eventually it's going to reach you. Tomato sellers, reach you. No. Wait, let me finish. Eventually, it will. Now, if it doesn't reach you, that's something to pay attention to too, because if they're only targeting Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali, why aren't they targeting Benin and Ivory Coast and Ghana and Nigeria? Well, Nigeria they're targeting. Why aren't they targeting Ghana? Well, we need to look at that. What's so different about Ghana? Why insurgents aren't going in there? So they're trying to say that it's Muslim extremists. It's not Muslim extremists. It's not. And so now when you identify where the insurgency is coming from, the Western world. So now if you're not in support, if you're not trying to help this effort from encroaching in on you, or even just as your brother, because if your neighbor is suffering from insurgencies, then you should be trying to help them to fight that. And if you're not, then you're complicit, and you're probably part of it. Right.
We are, but we don't want coup d'etat. You can't run
that has nothing to do with it. That doesn't have nothing to do with Ghana helping the Sahel with insurgencies. They can help them. They can share intelligence. They can share intelligence. They can put some money toward it.
But we don't.
Okay, guys, let me pass the mic to CD. We got Econ is on. Let me pass the mic to CD. I think Econ is Ghanaian, I think. So go ahead, CD.
All right, so Prince, this is what I was saying, right? This is the Ghana that I know during Kofi Addo times, right? The way he spoke and preaching democracy, that's the Ghana that I know. But then when I see Joe Mohammed line up with AES, what Ghana is standing there, because the whole thing that I've been reluctant of supporting AES, for the fact that they doing well, is military. We have not been successful with any kind of military leader in West Africa.
Very good, brother.
So I will not be fooled to run into the hand of AES until they prove it. And then people are free to speak out. The Ghana, as an example, the Senegal, right? Ghana being a role model for democracy in West Africa. That's for fact.
But
But
they
when
have
I see
democracy
John
though.
Mohammed, what is the role of Ghana right now? Kofi Nana Addo is spoke about those guys, AES guys, and now John Mohammed is running into the hand of those guys. And West Africa is already, if he's trying to bring those guys back into ECOWAS, that's a different situation, right? But now he's running into the hand of AES. At the same time, he's running into Abidjan. So what is their position? That's why people think that they are playing double standard.
Guys, let me pass the mic to Econ.
Ask him quickly.
Lewis, let me pass the Econ. You go, then I got past the man in the high castle. Go ahead, Econ. Unmute yourself, Econ.
Hello, man. Respect.
Oh, that's
now,
Econ. You're not Ghanaian. You're from
Jamaican.
Go ahead, Econ.
Okay, what you got to say, bro?
But I'm still African though. But listen this, right? When I hear Africans speak, they sound selfish and very ungrateful. You feel me? Especially Louis and CD. You feel me? Very ungrateful people. You feel me? Anyway, what I have to say. I personally think that Muhammad should exit ECOWAS and immediately join the Sahel.
Thank you.
Listen to that.
Also, hey, I ain't done. Also, I think that John Muhammad should introduce AES to the CD. You feel me? I think that they need a currency. This is a way for Ghana to increase the size of the currency on the continent. So I think that he should have already tried to ask them to integrate the CD in their system and formulate their bank on the CD and have the Ghana central bank as their central bank. So what happened now is the Ghana currency would be, because it's so foundational and just foundational, then the France is waiting for the AES currency to copy and distort. So I'm thinking the CD would be the best and the most sneaky plan for the AES, and that would stabilize the financial aspect of the AES, because now it is the gold bar. They will be the gold bar of the of West Africa and maybe Africa. You feel me? So and then that way now Ghana can go ahead and try to immerse the francophone countries into the CD, and there they can what you'd call crush the CFA franc. You feel me? With the CD.
I hear what you're saying. But
and making the CD the largest currency and strongest currency on the continent.
It can only work.
We're not gonna use a CD. Forget that.
It can only work as ECOWAS all together. We need one currency in Africa, so we can only do it as ECOWAS. We cannot abandon ECOWAS. Or the
ECOWAS is just
Let Econ finish. I gotta pass it to the man in high castle. Go ahead, Econ. You got 30 seconds.
All right. ECOWAS is just
CD was next, huh?
No, it's the man in high castle. Go ahead, Econ.
All right. Yeah, all right. ECOWAS is just an organization. It can be dismantled. The countries will still be there. So, but out of ECOWAS have been co-opted. ECOWAS is now the European Union. You feel me? So what happened now is ECOWAS should be dismantled and be made redundant, because ECOWAS has produced terrorism and aggravated border control. You feel me? Where they extort people. So it's a thieving organization and full of slaves, should be dismantled. You feel me? And there's 50% of white people in ECOWAS meetings. It's irrelevant. You feel me? I'm done there.
All right, go ahead, man in the high castle. Unmute yourself.
All right. Thank you. This is an excellent program. Also, I'd like to note people have slightly discussed recolonization of Africa. It has nothing to do with Mr. Beast becoming a Nana recently. However, if you know about this company called Land Tours, Land Tours is owned by a guy named, I'm going to mispronounce his name. However, this Land Tours, landtours.com, it's going to bring in more tourism from the West. And this is one of the vehicles or the doorways or the pathways of how recolonization in Africa becomes perpetual in the most subtle forms.
True.
But Land Tours, I'm not saying it's a sham. I think it's very legitimate. And it's Avis, all these car companies, jet skis, they're all involved with it. However, this is the way where the West comes in and sees this as a major tourist attraction.
Is that the same thing that Patrice Talon in Benin is doing with Eric? This guy with making a private city, like in Honduras, they got that private city that doesn't have to follow the laws of the country. They're doing the same thing in Benin.
Yes, expedite. Yes, quickly. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about Ghana, but I mean, there's other countries at the moment that are doing worse than Ghana, man. Like Benin, Nigeria, they just gone way, way beyond what I thought they would actually do. I know Nigerian, they've always been cool and that region of Benin, but come on, I thought they've gone past that now. We're not living back in the 15th, 16th, 17th century. These people always bow down to the whites. There's nothing wrong with white people. Let me that clear. There's not all white, there's good and bad in all race. We need to make that clear. But we know when it comes to politics, you should put your people first, just like everyone is doing. But anyway, I'm going to wait for my turn. I don't want to talk over people.
We need to follow. We need to listen to Francis Cress Welsing and this other brother that wrote the book on the Iceman Cometh, or something like the European views and the Southern Hemisphere views, Northern Hemisphere way of life, and the Southern. That's how we understand how we think differently. And even though there are some good white people, but we have different worldviews, and those different worldviews we can see right now. That conversation that Rubio had in Germany at the security conference that's their nature. That's how they are.
Thank you.
Colonial.
Yeah.
That's how they are. And know that you're not the same as them.
Now you're talking.
Thank you.
Okay,
And
that's the sort of argument I want to hear.
Democracy.
Now you're talking.
That has nothing to do with democracy. With the definition of democracy.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about what we do. What he does is what he does.
That has nothing to do with democracy.
Chill out, Ben. You're making yourself look silly
in
on
the
this
dictionary.
show, bro.
That has nothing to do with that.
You're all over the place.
Then you cannot say agree to that. You cannot say agree to that, but then you want Africans to stand up democracy. Come on, Lewis, man. What type of man are you? What type of man are you, man?
You shut
up. That's like you liking a prostitute, and then you give a ring.
Wait, bang.
And then you find a cheating on you.
Bang. Yo, bang.
I gotta read this super chat real quick. Shout out to our brother Couples. An African country is measured by how much of its citizens can actually live in the country without Japa or having to leave and be stuck in the West. Thank you for the 499 holla.
Okay, Dennis, can I just say something quickly?
Go ahead, Prince. Go ahead.
Before a lion catches certain prey, sometimes the lion has to go crouching. Okay? You bend your head down in the grass, you know the game, and when the right time is there, then you pounce. That's what Ghana has learned. There's diplomacy. Okay?
Bro.
All right.
Bro, you got to choose sides.
Hello,
We're in a place now
hello,
where you have to choose
hello,
sides.
Man, let him finish.
hello. Ghana was first to get independence. We've got experience in certain places you other nations don't have. So when you scream and shout, you got to chill out. Okay? To answer
But Louis,
man, let the man finish.
Before
Go
I
ahead,
lose my chain of thought. There was a point that was being made just before when CD was speaking. Okay. There is certain ways that you have to go about this. When Nana Addo was in power, he was pro-West. Though he's a Pan-Africanist, he was pro-West. And therefore, he didn't want to leave the defense of the country in the hands of Russia, because the old USSR is not there, but Putin is there. And whether you like it or not, he's a dictator in his country. I understood why he invaded Ukraine. I don't support Ukraine at all, because America was using them.
Neither do I.
However, we had relations with Ukraine. A lot of our students were being trained in Ukraine. We never had anything bad, and they were very good at drone technology. That's why they've been able to hold on the Russians for so long. They're good at drone technology. So we had already had deals with them.
Were they able to come home during the war?
Hello, Ghana as a country is independent. We are not alliance. We can go east or west. And that's why when there's certain deals being done for drone technology, we can go there. Just because Wagner Group are in Burkina Faso does not mean that Ghana throw everything and then go and support Russia or Burkina Faso because they're not happy with Ukraine. This got nothing to do with that. Okay, Ghana was there before all this shit, and we're not gonna change our mind because.
And were they discriminated when the war started on coming home?
Hello, brother. We're not gonna change our mind or our policies because Traore picked up the gun. We didn't tell him to do that. He done that. Okay, gang
Are you serious?
He done that.
Are you serious?
Secondly, the AES only was formed a couple of months ago. You want Ghana to turn around and just follow a couple of military guys who just turned up 3-4 months ago? You guys are crazy.
That's what they are.
Prince, that's the point that I have problem with, because Ghana being a role model in democracy in West Africa, right? If all the other military leaders seen it align with AES,
is it my turn?
People are confused. What is the position of Ghana? That's what I'm talking about.
Right,
I have nothing against AES.
On the panel. Let me pass the mic to Burkina Faso. Go ahead, Burkina Faso. And then after that, it's Afro Man.
A good day, everybody. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, I really appreciated what the idea that I think it was Icon who talked about the CD. Like, I think that would have been an idea that could have saved the AES a lot of time, okay? But at this point, I think it's too late. I think it's too late at this point because like the AES is like working on their own currency and all that. But like definitely, I think the idea that Icon came up with, your name is Icon, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that could have been a very good idea that could have saved us a lot of time. But like, unfortunately, at that time, it was like Akufo that was in power, you know? And like Akufo was like, at least Mahama is being shady a little, not completely showing his hands, you know? But Akufo was like a straight up sellout. He wasn't even trying to hide. You get what I'm saying? So
I think he was like
we already know
strategic.
We already know that he wouldn't have collaborated with the AES. Right. So yeah, now what I wanted to like just to address the topic right now, okay? I think I'm gonna need the help of Louis. Louis, by the way, is that correct? Like, you see, right when what's his name? When Mahama took over, okay? You see when he first took over? Yeah, is it correct that you guys had like a cholera breakout? Do you know what cholera is?
We had no cholera breakout.
Okay, because I heard about like a a cholera breakout that happened around the time that he first took over.
No,
and like
That's
last,
Zimbabwe. That's Zimbabwe.
that was okay. The reason why I'm bringing this up is that like I'm suspecting that they have something on Mahama. I'm suspecting that they're using something. I'm suspecting that they're using something to threaten him, you know?
Okay.
Because you guys know that they're very advanced. Are you talking to me?
Can I just help you there very quickly? The only thing that I know
Okay, go ahead.
Let me just help you. The only thing I know they got on Mahama is that him and his party stole a lot of money. Okay? And they took it to Dubai. Okay? Now, you know what he done in his last week when he was in power, when he knew he was going to leave office? Last time he was in power, before Nanadu came in? He sold part of the port of Tema for $35 billion to a French businessman called, oh God, I've forgotten the guy's name.
A friend, yeah.
Listen.
He owns Benin Port.
Listen, thank you. That guy, he's a very rich French man. Mahama sold part of the port of Tema, right, which Ghana put a lot of investment into. All right, sold it for $35 billion, and he made a big cut out of it. Okay, we know he's dirty get down. Those of you outside Ghana, you won't know that, but you see, people who sympathize with Mahama, like what's his name, Zongo, he would never tell you that. He would just come and speak up against Ronaldo and all that. Hear me out. So if they've got anything, he's going to be.
I'm a pro Mahama,
right? He's going to be his business dealings. But having said that, okay, there's an old saying: keep your friends close and your enemies even closer. Mahama, bro, right now he's being criticized by our former defense minister, who was a very good defense minister, because there was never any incident between us.
But Louis,
Mahama, I'm answering your question. So if they've got anything on him, it will be his business dealings. That's the only thing I can suspect. But beyond that, I don't know what else they're gonna have on him.
If I was Mahama, I'd put a hit on that dude because he's a terrorist.
He sounds like a fool talking about why are we with dealing with the AES? He sounds stupid.
He's a terrorist. And let me say something to you, Louis. You feel me? So you are living. So Ghana people is living worse now than in Nanako for other days, right? That's what you say.
They're not. They're doing well. They're doing well because
isn't the country practically the top West African country right now? Isn't that Ghana right now?
Yeah.
Hold on. I want to ask you this now. Where is the money for the church? Is it Mahama who have it? The Catholic Church.
Hello.
Who has that money now? Because it wasn't built. There was money allocated, but it wasn't built. So who has that money? It's Nana Akufo-Addo that has that money. So your leader is a thief. Your leader is a thief, and he's also a rat. You feel me? So talk about that.
Hello, brother. Can I answer your question, please?
Louis, you got a minute. I got to pass the Afro, man. And guys, hit the like button. If you have not hit that like button, please hit the like button to come to the chat room. But go ahead, Louis, ask the question.
Ghana has a court system, and if he's stolen any money, they can take it to court.
Okay? But where's the money and where's the church? Where's the church?
The foundation was built, but it was stopped because
he had 8 years. He had 8 years.
Hello. The church is still being built.
Years.
Hello. The church is still going to be built. Okay, we're still going to build it.
No, it's not. If I have nothing to do with it, it wouldn't be built.
You got to let him answer the question. Go ahead, Prince.
Yes. Right, we were building. We started the foundation. Okay, at the time when we got to the foundation, don't forget the funds were allocated with time from the beginning of his administration. When he got to the 8th year, which is the end of his administration, that's when they had enough money to start the foundation. But he wanted to start the foundations, so even if it was full, you could build it later. He acquired the land, he started the foundation, and then they ran into financial problems, so he put a freeze on it.
All right, one more question. Why are you building a church?
We are 70% Christian, and we're going to build a church, whether you like it or not.
Why are you building a church when you don't have roads?
Because we want to. I got to pass the mic. Go ahead, Afro man.
Yes, hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you guys are.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, I late, so I don't know if certain points that I'm about to make have already been made. I don't know if any of you heard that Ghana has entered into a partnership with Burkina Faso. I'm talking about military speaking.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. And in that partnership, they're going to work together to fight the elements in Burkina Faso that are destabilizing it. Now, this came as a result of an incident that happened in Burkina Faso. I think there were 3 or so Ghanaians who are traders and 8. Okay, sorry. Okay. Burkina Faso to buy certain items. And I think on their return back,
tomatoes
accosted by the wake of that. The government of Ghana.
I don't know if you're delayed or what's going on, Afro Man, but it's like you're going in and out and you just talk. Go ahead, Afro Man. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, you're real slow, but go ahead.
Okay, let me see if I can.
Yeah, you go in and out, Afro Man. I don't know what's going on. That's
Yeah.
Guys, hit the like button again. Please hit that like button, y'all.
Yeah, Dynus, the last thing I wanted to tell Lewis is that at least he's admitting that there is a possibility that Mahama is compromised. Because at first he didn't want to admit that. You didn't want to admit that at first. So at least you're admitting that the possibility is there for this guy to be compromised a little.
Yeah, brother,
I don't think he's compromised.
Brother, I'm not part of his political party, okay? But I know the dirty dealings that Ghanaian politicians get down. So I know the shortcomings, but I'm not part of his political party. I got family members who are very high up in his party.
Oh, so
thank you. At least you've been honest. I like that.
Prince. But then everything that I was saying, why were you saying that I'm talking against Ghana? This is the contradiction that I'm talking about. I'm saying that Nana Akufo-Addo were not alliance with these people, and now from nowhere I'm seeing Ghana having a military, formation with these guys. Where Ghana stand there? Because this is more of like Ghana is trying to engage themselves into a bigger war right now.
Hey, guess what Ghana did wrong?
Well, let's
guess what
finish.
Ghana did wrong?
Prince, come on, give me a break.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
go on, Sidi.
The thing is,
one at a time.
They are part of ECOWAS, right? And then
guess what Ghana did wrong? This is what Ghana did wrong.
I can let the man finish. I can let the man finish. Then you can talk.
So right now they are getting into they are engaging. They are saying to big military operation right now. The terrorists are fighting 3 countries: Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. Right? Ghana, as what this guy just said, if that's true, ECOWAS did not sign to what Ghana is trying to engage themselves into right now. This is a guerrilla warfare. This is a tactical war. It's very difficult to fight. If Ghana is aligning themselves with Burkina Faso, that's a huge engagement.
And the U.S. and Ukraine. And the U.S. and Ukraine. They're aligning themselves with the U.S.
That's what I'm telling
Ukraine.
you, Prince. I agree what Nana Akufo-Addo was doing. I'm more aligned with you.
Okay, right. Hear me out, CD. What happened was Nanado, he was one pro-West, but above all, he was for democracy. He hate coup d'etats.
Yep.
You understand? This and the man.
We don't care.
Consistent. Okay, I'm not talking.
We don't care about that.
Would you just let me speak? It's not your turn to speak. Okay, he hates coup d'etats. Now, what you have now is
Bushofu. I don't like coup d'etat at all.
But do you hate bad? Do you hate poverty and bad leadership? Do you hate that more so?
Brother, please.
Okay? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Answer the man. Do you hate poverty and do you hate bad leadership?
Stop interrupting people, my friend. Okay? We in Ghana are not gonna support coup d'etats. We ain't gonna support it. We don't care what good ideas you got. We ain't supporting coup d'etats. Okay, we're not.
That's why the white man have his way with your woman, because your balls has been taken away.
We are not supporting coup d'etats. We don't care what OES got to say. Okay, and you, Ben,
That's
just
why.
because you
That's why
hello,
the white
hello.
man have his way
Okay, I'm
with
gonna let
your
you two only
woman
talking. You two only
because
talking.
you lost your balls.
No, let me ask you something, Icon. Let me
You
ask you this.
you have to be friends with the US. Somebody have to tell your government that you are doing good. Who is you, Louis? Shut your mouth, man.
Oh,
We are
Lewis.
more
That's a big
successful than
statement.
Burkina
Yeah,
Faso. You can fuck
but
yourself.
that's a big statement, you know.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
that's
wait a
a big
minute though.
statement,
But
you
wait a
know.
minute. The basic common sense is this: if democracy is not working, right? If you're the poorest country in the world, first poorest country in the world, Burkina Faso, Niger, and you have democracy and it's not working, then you got to do something different. If democracy is not working, you got to do something different. Now, guess what? Niger and Burkina Faso and Mali are now the fastest growing economies in the region and in Africa.
Whoa,
So now
easy.
let's look at the performance. The infrastructure of the Burkina Faso has been built up since you have a coup leader in place, more than in 60 years that you have had since you've been independent. Now, and you're saying we
Well
don't like
said.
coups. We don't like coups. What do you
Well
not
said.
like insurgencies? Do you not like poverty? Do you not like bad leadership? What about that?
Okay, we
Yeah.
don't have
Hold on. Let me
we
tell
no
you what.
longer
Hold
have
on.
bad leaders in Ghana.
One
Okay, we
more
don't have
second.
bad
One
leaders in Ghana.
second, Louis.
Democracy work for
One
us.
sec.
Okay?
All right, Louis. Look, 1 second. What Ghana did wrong, especially when Muhammad came in, he
Ghana
should
has
have
done
prepared.
nothing wrong.
Hold on. When Muhammad came in, he should have prepared at least 100,000 graduate, at least 19-year-old boys, and send them to Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger to go
You
train
must be
and
mad.
fight
You
terrorists.
must be mad. We ain't gonna
That's
fight for wankers like St. James the wanker. We ain't gonna fight for him. Fuck him. Go and defend
really
yourself.
your
Let me tell you.
personal. That's personal, man.
Listen,
Behave yourself,
St.
man.
James is not here. St. James is not here to talk to defend himself. Let's not
Yeah,
mention
but he's so
people's name.
no. Why would you
No,
say
if
something
someone
so
is if
selfish?
someone is not
Because
here,
he's a
if
pussy.
someone is
Hold
not
on, hold
here,
on.
please don't mention their name. It's not fair
Africa,
on them.
Africa, Africa, Africa.
He
I
can't
respect
Yes,
come
St.
man.
because he
James,
knows
man.
Yes,
that
man.
I
prior to his
respect
deal, he knows
I
prior
respect
to his
St.
deal,
James, man.
he knows
I
prior
respect
is
St.
doing deals
James.
Yeah.
with
Okay.
America.
I
Tribe is
Okay.
doing
respect
the
All
St.
deals
right.
with
Okay.
James.
America. He's signing deals with
No,
America.
no.
Okay.
So he's lost face. He
I
can't
Yeah,
come
respect
on the
bang.
show
St.
when I'm on here.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
Tina.
what.
wait,
Listen,
bang.
That's
You
Tina.
say
what
That's fine.
something.
Muhammad.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Muhammad should have
bang. What was
done.
that?
But
Muhammad should have.
when you look at John Muhammad name, when you look at his name, right, you
See, let
can
me
know this guy. He
City.
want to certify all sides. He got both Christian and Muslim name. John Muhammad Dramana.
Yeah,
This he
yeah.
got political reason why he doing it. He want to satisfy. We don't even know who is this guy, right?
He's a Muslim
Tomorrow
and a
he's running in
Christian.
him or AES. The next day he's running.
No, no,
I
no,
I
no,
know
no.
what Kofi Nana
He's a
Ado was
Christian.
standing for.
He's a Christian that comes from the north in Ghana.
No, listen to me.
You see
Yeah,
the
He was
problem
a
now?
Muslim, but now change
No,
your
no.
he
Here's
was a
the
name.
Muslim.
problem.
Change your name. He's a Christian. He used to be a Muslim, but now he changed. He's a Christian. Then he added
He's
John.
Yeah,
both.
That last
He's
two names,
both.
John
So
Muhammad, that's a
but
Muslim name. Get
yeah,
rid of the
but
name
bang,
and
bang
give
it.
just a
he's
Christian name.
both of them. So
Yeah,
what?
let
It's
me.
better to be
Yeah,
both of them than
bang
be
it,
one of
bang
them.
it. Ghana. They copy Sierra Leone a little bit. Like Sierra Leone, you see someone called John Abu or Mohammed Michael. Or, it's very common. Yeah, so you can with us, you can never determine what religion we are based on our names. You can never tell.
Right.
If someone will become Mohammed, they go to the church. Someone will call Michael, and they go
Abdul.
to the mosque.
Yeah, but
And
and then when you
Let
see
me.
someone, then they go to both
The
together. They call
solution to
themselves
African
Christian.
yeah,
problems is going
and
to be
But let's
African
get
yeah,
back to
Okay,
yeah,
this.
solutions.
Let's
And
get
okay,
back to
okay.
the
Abrahamic
yeah.
religions is
Ghanaians
not going to
for a
bring an
minute, man.
African
Let's get
solution
back to
to
these
African
Ghanaians for a
problems.
minute, man.
Hey, I got
No.
Afro man is Afro man. Unmute yourself, Afro man.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I hope this is better now. So
Okay,
as
go
I
ahead.
was saying, okay, it seems that now there is a bilateral agreement between Ghana and Burkina Faso. Now, this is significant on many fronts because just a day or two ago, many people here were accusing Ghana of being a puppet of the West. And I asked some of them if they know something that the government and the intelligence agencies of Burkina Faso do not know. Now that we have signed a bilateral agreement between Ghana and Burkina Faso, Where are those now who claim that Ghana is a puppet and Burkina Faso are the ones who are fighting? Now,
You know, they met with Africa Command and Ukraine
those,
since then, right? That was
for
4
those
days
who
ago.
think,
They met
Let him
with.
finish. Let him
Man, let
finish.
him finish. Shit.
For those,
Oh my God.
for those who think that Burkina Faso has no dealings with the West, you are living in a fool's paradise. Just this month, Burkina Faso signed a 5-year bilateral agreement with the United States of America. I'm talking about
Thank you,
Trump's
brother. Thank you.
America, Trump's
We talked about
government.
that already. We talked
Some
about
of you
that.
are so naive, you have no idea what happens diplomatically speaking.
We talked about that already.
Tell that to I can fire.
You just sit on your couch somewhere.
We spoke about that, bro.
Bro, that was a health agreement. We talked about it in detail.
I don't care if you spoke about it. The point is, okay, there is cooperation going on between countries all over the world at every material time.
Of
if
course.
you think that a country is going to isolate itself, and as soon as there's cooperation between an African country and a Western country, that country becomes a stooge. That means you are clueless about geopolitics. You're completely clueless. Now, I have said this before. If you know the track record of Mahama and the NDC government, okay, they were actually placed on the bad side of the West because they were pro-East. If you know the history of J.J. Rawlings, the NDC, and all of those things, you find out that the West was suspicious of the NDC, and they were more willing to work with the MPP, which was the party of the former president, Akufo-Addo.
You heard that, Louis? You heard that, Louis?
Yeah, we can tell. We can tell.
The coup leaders have to prove themselves, and the democracy leaders don't have to prove themselves.
I don't know why people get over. I don't know why people get that as soon as a country signs any agreement, whether it's military, health, education, whatever it is, infrastructure with the West, then you are a puppet. It is.
No,
that's not true. I prefer Kofi Nana Kofi Addo.
The better for us.
No, not him. He's not the one.
I prefer Nana Kofi Addo. I prefer him to this guy.
Why?
Why? Yeah, definitely.
But why? Why do you prefer Nana Addo? Why?
Well, because Nana he more aligns himself with democracy than anybody else. You know, and I like
you don't align yourself with democracy. You do.
Well, because the fact is that's
you live in Ghana?
No.
We have experience.
Democracy's in place, and the rules are there, and you
because Ghana is very stable.
That's it.
Very stable. It's one of the most stable countries in West Africa.
What do you do with a country?
CD, do you live in Ghana?
That is the poorest country in the world, and the democracy is not working.
Do you live in Ghana? Do you live in Ghana, CD?
All coups are not the same.
I'm not just.
That's a revolution. What's going on in the Sahel is not just a coup; it's a revolution. And now they have proven themselves over 3-4 years. They have proven themselves because the democracy before that, my brother, was not working because you're the poorest country in the world, and corruption is taking place.
Sir,
you got Ghana.
Don't see everything that they tell me that is true. We have had a lot of military leaders that have manipulated West African. People pretending that they're doing well. I've not seen any military leader in West Africa. None.
Hold on, CD. Shay, look how hypocritical CD is. He don't like Mahama, but it's a democracy, and he don't like Mahama. And
you don't have to like him. You don't have to like him.
I didn't say that I don't like. I say I prefer Nana Addo.
I mean, Ghana got so pretty. 24-hour electricity right now, and goddamn pretty roads. Pretty roads everywhere.
The CD went from 20 to 10 too under Mahama.
Yeah, it was.
You two are too evil. You two are two evil scumbags who give away your women to Europeans.
How can you never been to Africa? You don't come from Ghana.
They give away their women to Europeans.
I've been to Africa several times.
Yeah, fucking bear crap. Yesterday he was shot.
You in Africa, but you don't even own your woman.
Life on the Kala Nation show. Disgraceful.
You don't even know that Christianity. You're Christianity.
Wait till I want to ask a question. I want to ask a question.
Your Christianity is the reason you don't own your woman.
Wait,
Your Christianity is the reason your women are not loyal to you. Louis.
Yo, I want to ask a question to Louis and Siri.
Wait,
Louis and Siri, I want to ask you a question.
Wait, back
I want to ask you a question, Louis.
Afro-Man
Louis and Siri.
as well.
Louis and Siri, I want to ask you something.
Go ahead.
Ask.
So if
You
you
stop
guys,
shouting.
if you
Ask a
guys,
question.
if you guys were to compare the AES, okay, and if you were to compare Akufo-Addo between the two, who was the most beneficial to the African continent so far? Between Akufo and the AES.
Nana Addo.
Okay, Burkina Faso. I respect what AES is doing in terms of fighting terrorism, trying to get their sovereignty. Okay, and also, yeah, I respect that. I respect. I don't wait.
These people drinking mercury.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're not thinking clearly because the Sahel represents the potential of Africa to unify.
I hear you. But what you don't understand is, when I listen to all of you guys talking, you guys still don't understand West African psyche, the history of West Africa, and the presence of West Africa. From colonial days to the present day.
There's some things we'll never know.
You can't say that, man.
You need to stop.
We'll never know
you
because
can't say that, man.
However, what we do know.
Thank you, sir.
What we do know is
we might know you more than your own self.
This is
we might know you more than your own self.
Africa must integrate its economy. Africa must create a military, integrated military, and the free trade must be functional. And Africa must work together to build an infrastructure. If you don't have a currency, an African currency, so the Sahel represents that. Ghana being successful does not represent that.
I am not trying to
my question is, let us see Ghana, right? Let us see Ghana on the both faces. Ghana during the time of the military regime, and Ghana during the time of democracy. Let us compare it. When Joro Rolling was in power, I would say almost 60% of the Ghanaians left Ghana. Ghanaians were all over the place. Let me finish, man. You don't know about African. I'm telling you something right now. When Ghana started practicing democracy, what happened? Ghana became stable. Look the stability in Ghana compared to the time with Jordan Rolling. It was a time in Ghana all Ghanaians could stand in line and beg for food.
But you're only talking about Ghana, and Ghana's only going to be successful if the region is not successful.
And Senegal. But anyway, CD, what I'm trying to say, and I'm not trying to minimize you saying because you're not African, you don't know the history. Even some Africans on this planet. I'm addressing the icon. Even some African here don't understand what I'm talking about. Okay, the reality is the coastal Africa and the interland Africa, they're two different mindset people. They always have been. Okay, this happened because of the West, the colonial days during the transatlantic slavery. During the transatlantic slavery, the elite. Sorry.
We know everybody. I mean, even your neighbor, even the neighbors have different mindsets. Even Cote d'Ivoire have different mindsets.
The diaspora has a different mindset. The diaspora mindset is we know these Europeans.
Everybody mindset.
We know these Europeans and we know what they're doing right now. They're telling you in Germany, they're telling you what they're going to do, and we're not responding correctly. We are not responding correctly because it's not just about Ghana. It's about Sudan. It's about Congo. It's about South Africa. It's about the entire Africa. And we are not responding properly. You're talking, but you're not hearing what I'm saying, right? Okay, then be quiet. Be quiet. If you hear what I'm saying, I hear your point. Let me finish.
I was talking, and he interrupted me, telling me to be quiet.
You're
you want to talk old stories. You want to talk old stories.
Right. The truth of the matter is it's not just about Ghana, and we are in a window of time in which if we do not respond correctly, and the only correct solution to this is that we integrate Africa more and more and more to the point where we have one currency.
I agree with that. How you get to do that?
If you agree with that, why aren't you talking like that?
We need
I do. That's my talk.
Ghana needs to integrate.
Okay, you got to understand. You got to understand,
Ghana
right?
needs to integrate with the
The coastal
Sahel.
region, the coastal region have always been a bit more democratic than the inland. The inland have always been more into
We
hierarchy
don't care.
politics.
We don't care. Why are
We
you
don't have
telling us
time for
that we
that.
don't care?
We don't have time for that now. We're in another thing. Marco Rubio
God
said
damn it.
clearly
You
to
guys
them
are far from
to them
reality.
Germans and those people listening.
We don't
Look,
care about
You
we
can
West
sit
are
there and
going
Africa.
listen.
to
You can
We
we're
don't
sit
care
there
going
and
to
about
shout.
New
Listen, you can
Province
recolonize
sit
the
yet.
there and
world
shout on
with
the
you or
internet
without
and said
you.
you don't care, but the reality in the ground is how it is. You can't
No, I
change that.
understand
You know,
that.
let it change.
I
Thank
understand that
you.
that's how it
Let me
is.
tell
Uh-huh.
you how.
Huh.
Hold on. Let me tell you how things is. The bigger gun have the most talk in West Africa. So shut up.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Are
the
you high?
West Africa only listen to the
What
bigger
are you
gun.
talking about? Trying to big up Akufo and put him above the
Okay.
AES.
He is 10
You're
No,
trying
times
to
I'm
big up
above
saying
Akufo and put him above the AES.
Right.
who?
I'm not talking about Akufo AES, this and that's not me. You mixing me up with someone. All I'm trying to say is I'm trying
We
to
don't care
explain
about
to
no
you guys.
democracy, man.
No,
the
nobody's talking
We
decision.
about
don't
democracy.
care.
I can
We
if you
don't
switch
care
over.
who was.
I
We
can
don't
stop
care who
shouting
was
because you're not
friends
adding
with
any
who.
value
The
to this
decision.
Hold
conversation
on.
right now.
We don't care
I
who
can.
was friends.
You are not
The
adding any
decision.
value to the conversation by
You don't.
shouting people down. You need to be
The
quiet and
decision
listen
made
and
by
learn.
the decision
I'm not
made
Okay?
by
trying to
Burkina
shout you
Faso
down, Al.
and
I'm
their
trying to
leaders has
get you
got
to
led them to where
understand
they
that
are.
we don't care who was with the West first, or who was with the West last, or who with the Arabs, or who nothing. We have our own issues to deal with. We don't care.
So how
None
do
of
you deal
you
with
is
that
right.
issue? Is the problem?
Hold on. None of
How
you
do you
is
deal with that
right.
issue? I make that issue there. I make that problem there
What I'm
work. I
saying
make
is,
the problem
none of you
turn
is
that problem
right.
into a solution.
Neither.
How can you turn that problem into solution? That's what I'm talking
Right.
about
We
here.
gotta
And
understand from the
how do you
brothers on
connect
the
the dots?
continent. No, you're right.
Yeah.
We gotta listen
Yeah.
to you guys and understand the
Mm.
nuances about how the type of way that we think in the Sahel as opposed to the coast. Right? We're listening.
Yes.
We're in the diaspora. What we know in the diaspora
Thank you.
is what we know in the diaspora is these white folks, and we know how they move,
Thank
and we
you.
know how they have done us, and we're watching
And
you
this is
guys from over
this is
here,
where we
and
can learn from you guys
we're
also.
saying, you
Yeah.
guys, look at the play.
Wait.
Yeah.
Why are
Yeah.
you talking? Look
Yeah.
at the play. Look at the play. The play
Mm.
is the United
We
States,
ain't stupid, bro.
France,
We can work it out
Israel,
ourselves. We're not that
Ukraine.
naive,
They're
brother.
all
We
working
know how the
together.
white man gets down. We know how the white man
They're
gets down.
working together to
We know
Exactly,
we
sir.
make
I
sure that the
know
agree.
how the white
Sahel
man gets down. We're informed.
Hold on,
We
actually.
know how
wait a
the
minute.
white man
We
gets
You
can
down.
learn from
say
each
you
other.
hold on. You
They're
say you
all
know the West, but you all separate yourself when the West unite against you. You don't know
Good.
shit.
Can I answer your question? Okay, let me answer
yeah.
that question.
You don't know the
That's
West, right? You
right.
know the West.
That's a fact.
Who
You
is he
don't
talking
know
to?
Let
the
me answer
Sahel
the
like
brother,
you know the
please.
Sahel
Let
He's
me
difference
talking to
answer
between
the
you,
brother.
Africa,
the
Africa.
coastal.
Let me answer the brother.
Who?
Okay, the decisions that you make affect your future. Okay, during independence, Burkina Faso, that was known as Upper Volta, and Nkrumah went there and asked their leader, go and read the history, to join us in Ghana. He said, no, we're going with the French. They love the French. That's the decision they made. Ivory Coast
Didn't
love
say
the
that.
French. Hello,
The
that's the
people
decision
didn't
they
say
made.
Years
that.
All
ago.
the
The
French-speaking
people
countries,
didn't
including
say that.
Togo,
You're a liar. The people
including
didn't say that.
Cyprus,
I can. You can't
right?
keep interrupting everybody, man. You're making the conversation
Right.
really
But he's a
No,
liar.
right,
I don't like
right.
liars.
No, but
Even,
How he's gonna
let him,
say the
let him
people say
finish and he
it?
can come
Let
back.
him finish.
You
Let him
can't keep
Even
finish.
interrupting
the
everyone.
French, they
even,
were
Stop.
under the
Stop.
French.
right.
Brother
Even,
Icon, you gotta
even,
let the brother speak,
even,
man.
even
Right, sorry,
Togo
Fucking
next
sorry.
hell,
door.
man.
Even Togo next door, which is
Wow.
already part of Ghana, which is the Ewe people. I mean, look how small that country is. It wasn't even, it should not be no question, but they still decided to suck up to the French because the French lower them in and they love sucking the balls of the French. The French make you feel like a good lapdog. So they went on their
They
own.
do.
So Ghana went on his own.
So what's the lesson in that
So
history
now
to that
after the
applies to
French,
today? What's the lesson in
hello,
that
brother.
history?
Please let me answer. Right? You see, you keep interrupting because you don't mean to shut you the fuck up. Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Instead of making a decision to have been completely independent and leave the what you call it, the French speaking countries altogether, only Guinea came with us. Okay. And
That's
we
true.
set up an alliance with
Yeah.
Liberia, Guinea, right, and so on and so forth. Now the French made you feel good. Now they've
And
been
Mali.
fucking you up, yeah, so hard. Now you're crying. lying. Now you're fucking crying. Take the fucking cock
Okay,
out
so
your
because of that history,
Louis,
that's your message.
Louis,
Your message
Louis,
is
I
because of
disagree with
that
that. We
history,
can't.
today you suffer.
You see where
Come on, bro.
Louis, I don't think we should. Louis, I don't think we should think like that because they're our brothers. We want Kina to do well. We want Mali to do well. We want Niger to do well. Just because they made their mistakes in the past doesn't mean we have to punish them for that, brother.
Can I say something, please?
Let them get the hot
Can I
pepper
say
out
something?
the ass.
Let Boom Boom speak.
I haven't spoke for a
Let
while.
Bang or Boom Boom, whatever his name is, speak.
Hey, actually, guys, it's Masec's turn. Go ahead, Masec.
Yeah, I was saying that pretty much. I was wanted to respond to City when he was talking about Jerry Rawlings, right? And I mentioned this before. Like, you have to understand that Jerry Rawlings, he tried to do the best he can, but he was isolated. And when you're isolated, they take advantage of you. So that was the reason why a majority of Ghanaians left Ghana, because he was isolated. And the same thing also happened to Ahmed Sekou Touré. He was also isolated. And that's why a lot of Guineans left that country. So as far as Ghanaians having their partnerships, I mean, yeah, I might not like it, but they're a sovereign country. They can do whatever they want, right? And as we see right now so far with John Mahama, John Mahama's been doing a phenomenal job with the AS. I mean, they have the free roaming charges with Burkina Faso. John Mahama went through all the AS countries, and then they had the bilateral security agreement. So I believe that John Mahama is not going to screw the AS over. And also, Burkina Faso has that port in Ghana, which John Mahama didn't have to do that, but they did it.
Yeah,
Even though, like,
Masaki, what I
That's a
was
good
trying
thing.
to say is I was comparing the both situation in Ghana, right? I was comparing this
Yeah, come
both
after
situation
City,
in
man. Come
Ghana.
after City.
Ghana
Yeah.
during the time of military leadership, right?
Mm-hmm.
Compared to now, they are more stable now compared to the time of Jerry Rawlings. You got to understand, Rawlings did two different coup d'etat, right? And Ghana were very, the entire Ghanaian were outside. You were in Ivory Coast, Liberia, all over in West Africa. You could find Ghanaians all over. Ghanaians were starving during the time of Jerry Rawlings. When stability came and they started having free and fair election, leadership, after I don't know, 6 years.
Yeah.
And now you can see how Ghana being very stable.
That's the thing I'm
why
trying to get.
military leadership, I would never support it.
But
I've
that's
not
what
seen no military leadership.
listen, I agree and I understand what you're saying, but you have to understand that Jerry Rawlings was isolated. When you're isolated, take advantage of you. I'll give you a prime example. Afghanistan was isolated. Syria was isolated. Libya was isolated.
Iran.
That's why they took advantage. But hold on.
Let me
hold on. Let me
speak.
hold on. Wait, I got you. Hold on. So that's why right now they have 3 countries, right? Those 3 countries cannot all fall in the same time, because if that happens, the whole West Africa is gone. Just to let you know, so they know they're not going to fall, right?
But Masaki,
So
you should have to know,
hold on,
Rawlings was working with Fidel Castro. He was working with Russia.
I know.
Right, so nobody has ever been successful with Russia and all these socialist countries.
But listen,
So,
but listen, what I gotta say.
Russia won't bring anything to your country.
Hold on, city.
Mhm.
How can you sit here and tell me now? Like I said, I agree with you the part as far as the infrastructure, because again, I'm from Guinea, and with infrastructure in Guinea was bad doing with the Russians. But how can you sit there and say that they don't have no success stories, and we can clearly see them kicking the asses of the terrorists in the AS countries? I'm telling you right now, like,
brother. That's what you're saying. That's what
No,
you're
I'm
saying.
not.
No,
What I'm
but listen, but hold on.
Let Masaki land.
Hold
Let
on. Let me give me like 30 seconds. So look, the Lewis is saying that's what I'm saying. No, dude, it's not what I'm saying. It's what RTN is saying. It was RTN is saying. ASTV is saying. These are other news outlets that put out pictures, images, and video of the terrorists getting neutralized. It's on Facebook. Alpha One Casibo.
I saw it. I saw it too.
Hold on.
You're right, brother.
Hold on. Alpha One Casibo, who's in Burkina Faso, if I'm not mistaken, he's part of the VDP, has videos and images of JNIM running from Burkina Faso to Ivory Coast and also to Benin. And this is facts.
I hope so.
And then on top of that too, hold on. And on top of that too, because you're saying that they're not winning, right? If they're not winning, why is the JNIM is begging Assimi Gorda for peace talks? Why are they saying, "Hey, listen, we don't want to fight no more. Can we negotiate?" And guess what? Guess what? AS said They said, no, we're not going to negotiate. But guess what? The two countries that did negotiate with JNIM is Ivory Coast and Benin. Are you aware of that, Louis?
I haven't looked into that much detail, bro. I'm not really concerned with the AES.
Let me say something.
Let me say
something.
You're not
bang,
concerned with the AES.
Bang,
that says it all.
No, he's correct. He's correct.
Man,
yeah, let Bango. Yeah, go on.
Please. Yeah, please. I mean, we could say this, we could say that, but at the end of the day, right? We know who controlled the world right now, right? The West, right? The king is America, right? We see what America is doing, right? We see the action they're taking. Not my big mouth, not somebody else's big mouth, right? You see the action they taking, right? You see who they're trying to surround. You understand me, right? We see the sellouts. We see the sellouts in certain countries, right? Especially like some country that call themselves, the beacon of democracy in Africa, right? And then the other one call himself the African giants, right? In Nigeria. You know. So then the day, right? What your leaders are doing is what we are talking about. Not you coming up here and talk. Not you and your leader over there in your country, because your leaders are puppets for them. They tell them what to say, and then at the end of the day, they do it. That's what they are.
So what
Our
Ghana
countries,
That's right.
Our countries is a vassal. No matter how you want to put it, in any way you want to put it. Your politicians bow down to the West. Your politicians bow down to the West. Your politician bow down to the West. I do not care how many ways you try to put it. We all know your Ghanaian say yes, master. Yes, master. That is facts. Because you know why? America runs the world.
Okay, can I say this? Can I say this, Bang Bang? So listen to this. The Nigerians in another social media that I go to, they're concerned about the voting groups, the APC and the NDD and all these acronyms. Right. So no. That's part of the democratic process. Meanwhile, we've been telling them, Pan-Africans have been telling the Nigerians, it's the outside folks that is creating problems for you. Oh no, it's our own leaders.
No, is it Fulani or is it Hausa Fulani or is it
it's our own corrupt leaders. Right. Wait a minute. It took the United States
exactly.
No, wait a minute. Hold on. I know you want to say something, but hold on. This is what it is.
Let's
Bang Bang. Let me
let's make this point there.
When the United States,
that's what they're doing right now.
Okay, when the United States, bro.
When
the United States told Nigeria we're coming with guns blazing, ablazing, and on Christmas Day, that's when the Nigerians they didn't say nothing. I went into spaces and started talking and hearing what they were talking about. They didn't say much, but we've been telling them, Pan-Africanists have been telling them, look, it's not just your corrupt leaders. It's also it's the Western world that but it's weird the ones. If we weren't doing it, then they wouldn't be able to do it. Well, yeah, there's truth to that. However, now the Western world has pulled back the diplomacy. They pulled back the covers of diplomacy, and they're going in with guns blazing. Now, if they did that in Nigeria, what does that mean they're going to do in other places? The time is now. And if you do not respond correctly to the time, you're going to be voting and talking about democracy and shit. And it's too late.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you see the thing is Nigeria is a country that's hard to fix. I'll give you an example. The Igbo tribe, they're spending billions of naira or millions of dollars every year just to demarcate the Fulani tribal land. I just seen that report that came out. I was actually shocked that the entire tribe will raise money to spend and distribute to different online platforms just to demarcate the Fulani or the Northerners or the Muslims, or you know what I mean? It's like instead of using that money to develop themselves and build themselves up, but they will use that money to demarket another group of people. And they're the same people. Yeah,
that's crazy.
They're the same people it's crazy, isn't it? And the same people who went to lobby America to come and invade Nigeria. And now America's in Nigeria. Instead of invading Nigeria, they work with the government against them. So it's just a funny trend, it's like, be careful what you wish for. And now the leader of opposition, who's Peter Obi, who was supposed to get a lot of support from the Northerners, because you cannot rule that country without the Northern support. Now they don't want it because they feel like the guy is a Christian. Is actually going against the Islamic, beliefs and stuff like that. And now they try to assassinate him in the south anyway, not even in the north. But going back to the points, the problem with Nigeria is the power rotation. They got like the north rule certain years and the south rule certain years. Okay, and when it goes to the south, the southwesterners tend to hold on to the like, right. It's in the south. It belongs to the southwest. When they go to the north, most of the time the northwesterners will hold on to the power. They're like, well, we're the majority in the north, so the northwest will keep it. So instead of them work out each zone how they can control power, when it goes to the south, maybe the south will be saying, well, you southwesterners had the power last time. Let the power go to the southeast or to the south. They should fight it between themselves. They don't do that. Instead, they start fighting the northerners. It's like it's like now the power is going to remain in the south for another probably 6 years, and then it will go back to the north. That's how they rule the country. But the reality is, when you spend so much time demarketing your own country, okay, and you spend all this time online, people are listening, they're watching, they know obviously they got their own interest, right? They're gonna come in. It's simple as that. And for the fact that you went and lobbied them to come and invade your country based on Christian genocide, that alone, we know Trump is not a Christian. We know this guy, they don't give a monkeys about Christianity and stuff like that. But they actually want their interest. And we know Tinubu is always going to be working for them. And also, I saw, I was listening to a guy, Tinubu was not even, Buhari, when Buhari died, before he passed away, when he was in power, he did not want to give Tinubu power. He did not. He said, no, he's not doing it. It's a Fulani governors in the north that bent his hand and said, no, give it to Tinubu because he was a good governor in Lagos. He helped a lot of the Fulani people down there and he gave him a lot of opportunities. We know him very well. And Tinubu spent 26 years in the north, okay, so he can become a president. Because he wanted to hand over the power to his vice president or another guy in the north. His vice president who was a Christian. That would not solve all this problem now. But the reality is, some people don't know how to play politics. That's the reality. And some people are not patriotic. Some people are less patriotic. Some people are more patriotic. And anytime you have, people who are in the same house with different agenda, they're never going to get on. That's the reality.
All right, let me read this super chat. Tarhaka 3897. Thank you for a $2 holla. The other night, Lewis said he loved the French. Tarhaka, go ahead, Tarhaka.
Hey, Lewis, let me ask you something. Did you say that out of anger because somebody was badgering you, or you meant it?
What did I say?
You said you love the French. I think bang was bothering you. And you must have said it out of anger.
I don't recall ever saying those words out of my mouth.
Well, you did. You did. But it's okay. It's okay.
All right, brother. I do not love the French, okay? And there's
no. Okay, that's what I'm saying. You probably said it out of anger.
Yeah, I might have said it out of anger.
So what does it mean to stand with the AES? It means that you are putting your country in a position, in a situation, because the Western world is going to embargo you like they did Zimbabwe, and they have continued to do Cuba. Wait a minute.
Let him speak.
Let me finish.
Well, Talking's not done yet, Shaw.
Oh, he was finishing.
I didn't finish it. I just asked him a question.
You haven't even started.
I thought he just asked the question.
Nah, I wanted to clear that up with Lewis, because I knew he said it out of anger.
He answered though.
Okay, so so now I'm going to speak.
Okay,
I'm not going to be long. Don't worry. I just want to clear up a couple of things. When Burkina Faso had many agreements with America before the so-called light coup happened. They had many agreements. One of them was health agreement that they had with them, right? Abraham Traoré stopped it, restructure it, right? Restructure it, and then got stabilized, and then went back to a deal with them. So it's not like they never had a deal with them. They had a deal with the IMF, right? The loan was restructured, right, to the liking of Burkina Faso, and they signed it. They never said,
that's right.
Listen to me. They never said they didn't want to do business with the West. They never said they didn't want to do business with America or France. They said they want to do fair business. Fair must be on an equal basis, right? You tell me,
That's right.
you see what I'm saying? That's what it was. They never said, right? And when they went in and there was went over all the mines that people own and stuff like that, Russia was also included. A Russian company was included in the restructuring. That contract was torn up. You see what I'm saying? So the bottom line, I'm saying, they never said they wasn't going to do business with A, B, or C country. They wanted to do fair business. All three countries want to do fair business. That's why Niger is speaking with Algeria now. You see what I'm saying? They're next door neighbors. They have to communicate. They have to get along with each other. But you're not going to do it on a duress. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to do it on duress. The other day, Putin drove in a car with Trump, laughing and hugging and kissing. Putin know that Trump is supplying Ukraine. They know that they have the CIA and special military force in Ukraine firing off those missiles. They know. But you still have to be diplomatic. If they're not diplomatic, both of them will destroy the world.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's why that bullshit in the U.S. surround Iran right now ain't nothing gonna happen, bro. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You see what I'm saying? Because America knows what's gonna happen. You see, it's the end of it. It will be a fucking disaster for the West, a disaster. You see what I'm saying? All the economies here will collapse. They know. So everything still have to be diplomatic. Trump already asked the AES, I mean the Iran, listen, just let me hit you and you hit me and we called it a day. Iran said no. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, with Iran, because
Right.
Iran is got more juice, more power, but
Right.
Africa
They said
is
no.
the
And I told people before that power, US only respect you when you have power. You see what I'm saying?
Africa is
They
the
don't
low man on the
respect a
totem
bitch.
pole.
They don't respect a bitch. They're gonna take advantage of every country in Africa that let them, like Ghana, Nigeria, whoever. It doesn't matter
We have
whichever country it is.
democracy.
You see what I'm
We
saying?
don't like coups, leaders. We
Because we
want
want to do things.
democracy.
Because we want to do things for the democracy. We are coons now. Is that what I'm out to understand?
There's nothing wrong with democracy.
But if it's not
Louis, there's
working,
nothing wrong with democracy.
Nobody didn't say.
Right.
Nobody didn't say there was
But if it's not working, then what?
Nobody
Hear
didn't.
me out, brother. Okay.
Hold on.
Traore could have set up a political party and have been making his voice through that way, but no, he chose.
Am I going to land or not?
But this is the problem, Louis. This is the problem.
Let Tahaka land, man. You guys interrupted him.
Am I going to land or not?
Go ahead, Tyler.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Lewis and others. This is what I'm saying. There's no. We know what Kwame. We love Kwame Nkrumah. We know what he did. You see what I'm saying? We love Martin Luther King. We knew what they did. But guess what? You know what Martin Luther King said at the end before he died? He said, "This is not working. Malcolm X was right." That's what he said. If it's not working, Lewis, you got to try something else.
Boom.
Okay, fair enough.
You see what I'm saying?
Brother.
That's all I'm saying. Nobody, everybody want a democratic elected leader.
Right.
If it's working.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? If it's working, if it's not working, you got to get rid of it.
Right. Listen to me.
Can I please jump in?
You see? That's what I'm saying. I'm done.
Can I please jump in, please?
Oh, no, let the sister talk.
Go ahead, my kind of mind. Go ahead, my kind of mind.
It's been a lot of gentlemen speaking, and I'm very passionate about this, so I want to jump in.
Go ahead, sister. Go ahead.
Somebody just said something important that America, and I'm not from America, but that's where I live, and he's right. America is going to respect power, and for Africa. And you hear me, Africa, not Nigeria, Ghana, Zimbabwe. Africa is one. Like, I'm American, but I'm Black. You know, I'm Jamaican. And I know that Africa is my home. And I just feel like you guys are too divided. Like, Africa needs to have one president that's over the whole of Africa. And then if you guys have a big army the whole world would respect Africa, because like it's not Zimbabwe's army, it's not Burkina Faso's army, it's Africa's army, and whatever you guys name that. You guys need to unite, and that's the issue. It's okay for, like, that's how America is. We have President Trump, but then there's different mayors and governors and people that's in every state. You guys separate Africa too much. Like every place in Africa is a separate country. Like you guys need to have one big law that every place in Africa follow.
But
And I think
Man, let her finish. Don't interrupt her.
I love Ibrahim Traore. Like, I feel like he should be the president of Africa, like all of it, you know, and maybe appoint somebody else for Burkina Faso, because linking with Russia is the best thing Africa could do. First of all, Russia understands that Africa is God's people. America does not look at Africa like that. The West does not look at Africa like that, and would never, and would only if you guys unite and say, we're Africa, we're the people. That's what Africa needs to do. You guys keep fighting Zimbabwe, Nigeria, naming every Ghana, every place. It's Africa. Like, yes, like you guys make Africa seem small because you're separating it like states when it's just so big and powerful. You guys, and I'm going to keep going because Africa has all the diamonds. Africa has all the minerals. Africa has everything that the world wants, and y'all not getting paid for it. Why not? So whoever's been the leadership in all those countries that let in the West just steal from you guys and still haven't given the money back yet.
She don't even know what we're talking about tonight.
Yeah, we lost her.
She has no idea we're talking about.
She have an idea. She's right.
Y'all didn't lose me. I'm looking at the bigger picture. Y'all didn't lose me. You guys are looking too small. It's a bigger picture. Whatever you guys are looking at is going to take 15 years. We don't have 15 years to get to that. Y'all keep trying to fix little. It's a bigger thing that needs to be fixed.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's what the AES is trying to do, sister.
Yeah, that's because you got to understand sis, right?
You have to start somewhere.
Back in the day with the Kwame Nkrumah, they had the Casablanca group. Everything you're saying right now, they tried that in the 1960s, but what happened was certain African countries didn't want to do that, right? So what the AS is doing is they're trying to replicate that model, but they're not doing it too quickly like ECOWAS. They're doing it like in stages and stuff. That's why you see Chad and Togo, they're going through certain phases. So it's going to take time to interlink. But I see what you're saying.
But look, what I'm saying, like revolutions, we don't have time. What's happening in Africa right now, you guys, young people, this right now is something that's going to happen like a blink of an eye. So that's why you guys need to get on the same page. This is not like back in the day. They kill people when you guys stand up one at a time.
Right. But I'm saying, but what I'm saying is that they can't rapidly come together because they're going to have like issues and problems. You know, because like, for example, if the AES came with Nigeria and Nigeria already has internal issues and stuff, how is that going to work? If they don't like cramp down on corruption, they got to
Nigeria want to break up.
But
so that's why the first Nigeria can't break up, and that's why the first thing.
But I'm saying I just said Nigeria as an example as far as the corruption inside. You got to fix the system. If that system is not fixed, you can't interlink. It's like you already have a broken. Hold on. It's like you already have a broken chain, and you have a new chain. And you try and take that chain to connect it to the broken chain. It's just going to snap because that system.
And you're right. You're right. But that's why I said Africa needs a president. It needs to be the United Nations of Africa or something like that. The United Countries of Africa. Africa needs to be one with one leadership. That's not going to happen
now.
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
No one said that.
But look how y'all sound. Why can't that happen?
You have to start with the AES, sweetheart. They're trying to.
Yeah, because Nigeria might be surrounded by. It'll be easier to unite Benin and Togo and Ghana than Nigeria to the AES. So if they can unite those other countries and surround Nigeria,
you need to forget that nonsense. We are not following AES.
That's okay. Because guess what? That's okay because guess what's going to happen? What's going to happen is it's going to be a proxy war. They're going to use Ghana to fight
the AES,
No,
and
they're
there's
not.
going
They're
to
not
be
going to use Ghana to do nothing.
no.
We're
They're
still
already
thinking about
doing
it.
that. They're
No,
already
they ain't.
doing that.
No, they ain't. No, they
Bahama
ain't.
is
He's not.
showing that.
No,
That's
he's
what
not.
the
No, he's
title
not.
is about. The
Yeah,
title
that's
is
what you're
about.
against.
The
You're against.
title is
You see,
about
listen.
Is Ghana being
Thank
trying to
you.
play the
I
middle
know that.
against
I
both
know that.
ends.
But listen to me
Right.
very
But
carefully. I think I have.
Lewis,
And it
Lewis,
looks
the
like they
Ghanaians,
are.
the
It
young
looks like
Ghanaians
Ghana
love the
is.
AES.
Right,
That's
exactly.
because they're
So
young and
It's
naive.
true.
But
Why
Lewis,
is
no, it's
why
Lewis,
is
all
Ghana
it's
meeting
always
with
the
Ukraine?
older ones.
Brother,
only young
Always got
people
the
count.
Kahaka,
issue.
you're
It's
right.
Hey,
always the
can I
older
speak
ones
for a
that
minute?
got the issue.
Can I speak for a
Always the
Did
minute?
you
older
see the
ones.
way they treat him when he went to Ghana?
Good.
Right.
I'm going to explain all that to
It's
you.
true.
Treated who?
It's
Huh?
true.
Let me explain all that to you.
They love him,
They
Lewis.
love
Stop.
Let
him.
me
They love
explain
him.
that
Oh,
You
to
know
you.
they
Traore,
do.
You
yeah.
can't say that
Listen
they're
to me
not
very
You know
used,
they
carefully.
do.
man.
Okay,
They
hear me
use
out.
love
Why
in
It's
is
there.
true.
Ghana
Let me
going to
answer you.
Ukraine?
Let
Why
me
is
answer you,
the
brother.
why is
Stop.
the
Stop
U.S.
doing that. Stop chatting.
Africa
Let
Command
me
at the
speak.
Jubilee House in Ghana?
Let me speak. Let me speak.
But
Right
Lewis,
now,
you're wrong though, man. Come on.
Yeah,
let me
you're wrong,
speak.
man.
You
Look,
know
I
they
don't
love
even
you
know
know they
who
love
Let
Lewis
him.
me
is.
speak. Are you gonna
Guys,
let me speak?
I don't even know who Lewis is, but
Okay,
Lewis,
let me speak,
you're
sister. You're
wrong.
gonna know
You're
who I am.
wrong. You're wrong,
Okay,
You're
Lewis,
wrong,
because
let
bro.
me speak. Let me
Ghana,
speak. Let me
should
speak.
not be
Hello,
used to
sister.
fight against its
Hello,
own.
sister.
That's what I mean about
Hello,
coming
sister.
together. Wait,
Hello,
we
sister.
can't speak at the
Hello,
same
sister.
time,
Only
Lewis.
follow. You can't outshout people. You got to give people time to speak.
No,
That's
Yeah,
what
but
you've been doing the whole
she's his
time,
sister
Lewis.
on here, bro.
Yo,
Lewis, that's
Daniel.
what
Let her
you've been
talk.
doing
She's
the
his
whole
sister on here.
time.
No.
Lewis,
Let me have my. She's already spoken. Let me
Yeah,
let me
No,
answer you.
you can come
No,
back
you're trying
after
to
her.
shut
You
me
can
off.
come back.
See now you're trying to. Diners, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
No, let the
Okay, go
sister
let
speak.
people
Let
run
the
your
let the
sister
show,
speak.
bro.
sister speak. We don't want to
Lewis,
hear
You
you,
don't want
bro.
let her
because you
speak.
don't want me to
because
speak.
Louis,
You don't
literally,
want me to speak.
Let her
Lewis,
speak.
Hey,
Give her. You got
what
1
you're
minute.
she's already
accusing
Hold on,
me
my
of
spoken.
doing,
dynamite. You got 1
Lewis,
minute.
She just
just
repeating
mute.
herself. Let Louis speak.
Just mute for a second, Lewis, because what you're accusing me of doing, yelling, I don't even want to do that. But you've been doing that the whole time over all
No, I
the
haven't.
guys.
No, I
Yes,
haven't.
thank
No,
you.
I haven't. I've been shutting down the AES with good sound argument. Okay, that's what I'm doing.
But why
Now
would
let
you
me tell you a
want to,
little.
bro?
Let me enlighten you
You on
why.
the wrong platform, Lewis. You're on the wrong platform.
Bro, you spoke. Let me speak. I know you don't
But
want
you
me
on
to
the
speak
wrong
long and I
No,
platform.
keep
he's
Nobody
not
want to
on the
listen to you.
wrong platform.
Yeah,
He's
he's an
not.
older
You're
Everybody
on the
Ghanaian.
wrong
entitled to his
platform.
opinion.
Hey, yo,
It's his
brother,
opinion.
Yeah, he's on the wrong platform.
No,
Louis
No,
is
you're
he's
on
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 the
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 wrong
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 platform.
platform.
platform, bro. No,
Nope.
Dennis,
it's not an opinion. You're on the wrong platform.
He's giving
Go
his
with
Please
people that
opinion.
agree with you.
right.
let the sister
Same
finish.
goes
Let
for
the
you,
Well,
sister
God,
CD.
finish.
God, let me say this. This platform's for everybody.
I know you're
So
gonna
Thank you.
say that,
Thank you.
Diners. I
Yeah,
know you, I'm
Hey,
black. I know you're
No,
gonna
it's for
say that.
and I
let me
love
everybody.
hear.
that. I
Hello,
love that.
Delroy.
It's
That's
for
good. That's
I
good.
know,
everybody.
I
That's
know
It's
you're
for
gonna
good.
say that.
All right.
He's
it's
giving
for
Okay.
his
everybody
But
opinion.
because
I wouldn't
even
come on your
me.
platform, Diners,
Hello.
if it wasn't
Hello.
a Pan
Delroy.
Africanist. I wouldn't come on here.
No, but
Delroy.
you
Right.
guys, your team,
Okay.
AES is
Okay, what
Pan-African. You don't
Lewis? Well,
want
let's see what
everybody to
Lewis
My,
got to
come
say.
my
into
Let
it.
Lewis
mistake.
speak. Let Lewis
I
speak.
mean,
Okay.
yeah,
You know,
let him
Right.
talk. Let
As a
him
young
hear what he got to
man
say.
in 1979, at the age of 9 years of age, I stood in the middle of the Accra Circle and I saw with my naked eye the man they call Brony taking over the country. Now we know his name is Rawlings. He was wearing his glasses, famous glasses, and a hat. That pictures of him went all around the world. People thought it was Bob Marley's brother taking over the country. I was there as a young man. People were cheering. Yeah, great, fantastic. As the brother was saying earlier on, look what Ghana went through, the turmoil. And we've come through that. And with our experience and our diplomacy through people like Kofi Annan and many others in top high positions, we know how to run this game. That's why we're moving our country forward. And
Do you think Africa should unite and be one?
Bro, stop
Ghana was ahead of Korea, of South Korea.
I'm sorry.
Where they now? They were way ahead of South Korea.
Wait.
Since Louis Ghanaian, I would like to hear him finish his story. Go ahead, Louis.
We went through all the turmoil before Rawlings came. We went for 10 years under coup d'etats. We had people who came in the military, led by a Champong, who had the same attitude as the AES. We've seen all this, is written down. What we are saying is this: we understand the problem in the Burkina Faso. We understand the problem in all the other AES countries. We know the frustration of the way the French have taken the piss out of Black Africa. Okay, so now this is how we're gonna go. We're gonna take our situation in our own hand, but we're gonna make sure that we play the game right at home. We make sure there's democracy, not the rule of the gun.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Okay. Now, if Burkina Faso feel that there's some nonsense going on and you need a military man to come in, like in Uganda, they need a military takeover on that shit place. That bastard is fucking up that place. He's now setting up his monster son, his monstrous murdering son.
Yep.
Right.
Louis, do you like America?
Democracy, though.
Let me finish, please. Okay?
Tell me if you like America or not.
Let me finish. Right. This is you cannot get behind a gunman. Now it's been nearly 3 years.
Ask America that.
Hello. It's been nearly 3 years since Traore took over.
Man, shit the fuck.
It's been 3 years or so since Traore took over. He's now shut down all opposition. Only a couple of months ago, you cannot even have an opposition to him. If that's Africa you want, you go ahead.
I would never sue any military leader.
Okay, Louis, you run off your mouth.
May I ask Louis a question, please?
Louis,
The question I would like to ask
why it
Louis.
got shut down? Like, dude, like you talking
ask
Louis,
Louis a
America
question?
run the world with a gun. What are you talking about?
May I ask Louis a question? Louis, do you think that Africa should unite, or at least Black Africa should unite and become some type of integrated? I'm not talking about the AU. I'm talking about really unite. Do you think that, Louis?
Yeah, we need to unite the way that Europeans and the EEC have united. I agree.
Okay,
Louis, go fuck yourself, man. You the dumbass.
With that being said, what is the sacrifice? Wait, hold on.
You don't want Africa to unite.
Hold on.
Guys, one mic. Can we not name call?
You don't want Africa to unite.
Louis, let me finish, bro. I asked you the question. So with that being said, right? Hold on. With that being said, what is the sacrifices that Ghana and other countries like Ghana are willing to pay, because the Western world is not having a EU, African EU like the EU in Europe? They're not going to have that, because that means that they won't be able to get what they want. So what is Ghana willing to sacrifice to be part of that?
Hello, right? Hear me out. The white man is not as powerful as he was in the old days, though he's still powerful. Hang on. Okay, if you decide within your country that you're gonna vote democratically, there's nothing anybody outside the West can do.
Oh, you must be out of your damn mind.
That's a fact. That's the truth.
Are you serious?
I'm a CD stop, man. Come on.
That's the truth.
You lost
That's
right
the truth.
there.
That's the fact.
Louis, you lost.
You guys don't know my America. You really don't know my America.
Louis don't know about rigging
Louis is an
elections.
idiot.
All you
know about
you think
rigging
democracy
elections?
and the world and other people can't do nothing. Are you fucking serious?
Because I don't support the AES. I'm an idiot now. You see this?
No. You said all you got to. If you have democracy, then there's nothing nobody outside can do.
And that's the part we disagree, because these
white boys will run down on you with their guns and shit. Are you kidding me? It doesn't matter if you have a democracy or not. These white boys will run you down with their guns.
Look
So
what
are you
America
willing
is
to
doing to the rest of the world. They
keep your
kidnap a
democracy?
president. They kidnap a president, you dumbass.
That's not.
Are you stupid?
Detain.
They kidnap a president.
That's different from what Louis is saying.
Stop, man. Stop the bullshit. They kidnap him.
Democracy.
No, that's not.
They went and blasted.
Can I please jump back in? Because for one, he said gunman shouldn't run Africa. I guess he doesn't like Traore. When that's kind of what Trump is like. Like, I actually like Trump.
That's not true. That's not true.
No, let me just say,
why would you compare Trump with gunman?
No, Trump is like a gangster. Trump is almost like a gangster. I'm here.
Yes.
No.
And that's why the people.
CD,
Let me
come
finish.
on, man.
Can I
You don't have a
finish?
fighting bone in your body, bro. I could take
And
your
that's
woman
why
in.
the people.
Hold on. One mic. Guys, don't interrupt.
And
Don't
the people,
interrupt, please.
the people love Trump. Some hate him. Like, first of all, to say that democracy, like, we're about to not have democracy in America because it gets corrupted. People could pay for votes. People could rig election. So to that whole, like, democracy, yes, democracy is good where people can have input, but you guys need to be under one leadership. So now to Trump, Trump is similar. Trump is similar to Traore because it's about realness, a real person. Traore, you could tell, care about Africa, care about uplifting the people. Like, you could tell that. And he's not playing. He's like, you're not going to disrespect Africa. I'm still talking, Louis. Traore is like, you're not disrespecting Africa. You're not disrespecting African people. We're not fools. Just because we're black don't mean we're stupid. That's what Traore is presenting to the world. France took what is it? Like, advantage. Whoever France did deals with and whoever the West did deals with took advantage of Africa.
Louis, in all fairness, let us speak.
Let us speak, man.
Please.
Go ahead, sis.
So I'm trying to say that other countries, you know, and I would like to hear what has the West done for Ghana. I would love to know how much Ghana looked different than Zimbabwe and looked different than the other places. But I'm
Very
not going
good.
to attack you, Louis. I'm not going to attack you. What I'm trying to say is the West took advantage and the whole
Very good.
world kind of see. And we're like, go Traore. Over here in America, we're like, go Traore, because we see him standing up. What we've been wanting somebody to do, stand up for Africa. Stand up and say that this not slavery time. Stand
Okay,
up
so
and
you
say
think,
that like we
hello,
have.
hello. So you think standing up for Africa means picking up a gun and shutting down all opposition?
Yes.
Louis, man.
Yes.
That's not
That's what you
what
think.
Traore
Okay,
is
Louis.
then good luck to
doing.
you.
Yes.
Good luck to
You
you,
have
my
to
friend.
understand, Louis. You got to
Good luck to
understand
you.
this, man. Louis, you got to understand. Ibrahim Traore is not saying that he's going to pick up his weapons and go against the Western world. That's not what he's saying. He's saying that we're sovereign. We have the right to protect our own selves, and we have a right to have our own army. That's what he's saying.
And we have a
I
right
mean,
to control our own wealth, our own
this is what I'm
minerals,
saying.
and
So,
rare
and then on
metals.
top of that,
They had
he
their own
Wait.
said,
army before.
listen,
These
listen,
white
and
boys want
wait,
your wealth.
hold on. Let me say,
Can I speak? I just
let
got
me
on.
add
Can I
something,
speak?
right? I'm very disappointing you, and here's why, right? You as a Ghanaian, you should know that Africa did not have democracy. They had monarchs. They were doing just fine before the Berlin Conference. For you to even sit here and tell this whole
Thank you.
panel,
True.
that the only way Africa can move forward through democracy is bullcrap. Because
I
China
didn't
has
tell
a
you
one
that.
party.
I didn't
Hold
tell
on,
you
hold
that,
on.
Just
but it's the best
cocoon.
way.
China
It's the
had a
best
one
way.
party. China had a one party system. The
And
Middle
they
East
speak
also
one
has a
language. You
monarch.
don't speak one language, brother. You don't speak one language. They're one ethnic group. We're not one ethnic group.
The Middle East also has
Masake,
the Middle East also has a monarch, whatever, and they're doing just fine. And for you to even
Only
sit
in
here and say, I don't
Morocco.
yeah.
speak this, hold on. And for you to even sit here, for
Masake
you to
finish. He's making a good point.
wait, hold on. For you to even sit here because I don't speak the same language, bro. I'm from Guinea. My president and your president were like brothers. So don't even sit here and tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about, even though I don't speak Tweet.
Okay, I gotta pass the mic. D'Angelo, go ahead. D-Lo, stay grand. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So I have a question for the panel. Okay, so for instance, Paul Biya in Cameroon, he's like 90 years old. That's democracy, right? But who's keeping him in power? Who supports Cameroon and Paul Biya right now?
France.
But they
France,
have
right?
democracy, though. That's all they need is
But it's
democracy.
democracy, right? I know, right?
That is
It's
not a
crazy.
democracy. That is not a democracy. Who told you that's a
That's not a
democracy?
democracy.
No. They had votes.
Yeah,
They
that's not
had
a
voting.
democracy.
Wow,
That's a
that's crazy.
dictatorship.
But
They had
That is not
voting. They had a
democracy.
democracy. They
They
had
had an
voting,
election.
Uganda.
and the
that's
opposition
Uganda
was
is a
crazy.
killed
democracy.
He's
after.
running the country from
Let him finish. Go ahead.
he's running the country from Switzerland. He's 90 years old. He lives in Switzerland majority of the time. But that's democracy, right? Because France supports it, right? He's 90
No,
years
it's
old.
not a democracy. That's not a democracy.
No, it is.
Why not? Why not? They have
Because it's
votes.
not.
People vote.
It's not a
Why
fucking
not?
democracy. If it
Why
was a
not,
democracy,
Louis?
if it was a democracy, that
Louis,
dead
you're
man
confused. You're
who's been dead
confused.
for years won't be walking around. That's not a democracy.
Then
That's
what is it,
Louis, you're
Louis?
confused.
Explain to
you're
me why it's
confused.
not a
I'm not
democracy,
confused at
Louis.
all.
Then what is it,
You're
Louis?
Explain to me
you're
what's the
confused
difference
how, and
between
you're a
that
coward
democracy.
too.
Then what is
Let me
it,
tell you something.
Louis?
Some of us know how power works in Africa because we got
Louis, what
family
is it? If
in
it's
it.
not a democracy, what is it?
It's my
It is
turn.
not.
It's my turn.
It
It's
is
okay. It's my
democracy.
turn. It's my turn. Let me speak.
It
Let me
is
speak.
dictatorship disguised as democracy.
Let
It's
me
not a
speak. Let me
democracy.
speak. Let me speak.
Oh,
Let me
that's what
proceed.
it
Let me
is.
proceed
But
to
some
show
Let
you
the
that you're
brother
a fool.
speak. Louis, let the
Let me
brother speak,
speak.
man.
Okay. Gabon, for instance, that was a military coup, right? And then they had quote unquote elections supported by who?
The
By the
French.
president's
By
cousin.
Macron, right?
Oh,
No. Who did he go and meet immediately after? Who did he get caught
Gabon's
on?
cousin. I mean,
Yeah, who did he get
Bongo's
caught on
cousin.
tape? Who did he get caught on tape speaking to about future plans? Was it not Macron? So that's a perfect example. It was a military coup, right, on his own cousin, and then they had quote unquote elections. Now it's democratic. So that's democracy, right, Louis?
You supported coup. He's a coup man. He's done a coup.
No, but it's democracy now, right? They had elections though. Louis, they had elections though. So now it's democracy,
fuck
right?
the elections, bro. You know that it's fucking dictatorship
You're
disguised.
confused. You're a fool. I just exposed that you're a fool. To everyone, I just exposed that you're a fool.
Listen,
You see how he's a fool?
You should have been out protecting your
All
woman.
democracy is not the same, right,
You see how
Louis?
Lewis is a fool, right?
No,
You
I'm
see
not a
how
fool.
easy it is to
I'm not
prove
a
that he's a
fool.
fool?
All
I'm not a
democracies
fool.
are not not the same.
This man was born in 1970.
Louis, you worship too much white Jesus, bro.
Okay.
Louis,
But Louis, that's democracy, right? That's
Michelangelo's
democracy.
Jesus Christ on his wall.
It's a
Just
political.
like the AES had a
Hey, Louis, did
military
you see
coup and then they had
Putin
fake
Jesus?
elections.
Louis, did you
My
see
man, my
Putin
man.
Jesus?
Yes,
My
I
man
do
is
see
a Southeastern.
Putin
innit?
Jesus
That
is
doesn't mean I
black.
have to support him. That doesn't mean I support that. But that doesn't mean I'm not against Putin. He can do what he's like in this country. I don't care
You
about
see,
them white men.
you see,
Them
Putin
white men
Jesus is
can do
black,
what he
bro.
like in this country. Hello, don't get away from it.
Louis,
Listen.
are you from Essex? Are you from Essex?
I did. I live in Roman Road, Barking.
Yeah, you got the accent. You got
Everyone, we
you got
gotta
the
close
accent.
out. Hey, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time,
Louis
family.
built democracy.
Great
man.
conversation. Great conversation, Dinah.
Danful offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshi traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danful, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danful, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danful, Africa. To learn more, visit danful.africa.